make sure it posted, yeah.
Wow, 93. Wow, that's a good start. It's beginning to look a lot like live stream. Everywhere you go. It's not even December. Though I can't talk. My Christmas tree's up, so.
Got him.
That's the call. That wasn't me. Okay.
Hello, everyone. It's Dylan from Yugioh Everything, and welcome back to another episode of Talking Yugioh Crazy 8's. This is episode 85. I'm not a ghost. I'm just Kuaidul.
Almost, you got it.
We welcome you to a little play on Nameling's New Year's Eve. We welcome you to the, as far as I know, the only podcast breaking down.
Echo.
Oh, there's another podcast?
There's an echo.
Oh, one second.
There's another podcast.
Wait.
Oh, the camera's mic was on?
I don't. Streamlabs sometimes likes to
is
turn
that
mics
better?
on.
Better.
All right, sorry about that. Anyway, welcome to. Sorry about the echo. Episode 85, the echo of the ghost of Kuaidul. Kuaidul, UDS. We are going to be breaking down every single thing that we possibly can from that episode. And this is going to be a weird one. Number one, it's not Wednesday night, it's Tuesday night. Number two, it's not 8 o'clock, it's 7:30. And number three, we obviously don't have a full crew here. Well, this is going to be kind of like a moving piece podcast because, I'll be here the whole time, obviously. But Cal and Dredger always do volleyball Tuesday nights. So we did it a little earlier so that they could join us. So huge thank you to the two of you for flexing your schedule there. But at the top of the hour, literally in about 30 minutes, they do have to leave. It will just be me for about 20 minutes, and then around 8:20, Nick T is going to be joining us. That's about 50 minutes from now. So no Pete, unfortunately, but we will be getting everybody else, and it is literally a rotating group here, which we will make work, and it'll still be a great time. UDS Kuaidul, man, what a freaking episode it was. But before we get into it, Cal, Dredge, how you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. A little tired, but overall, pretty good.
I'm excited, except for this weather.
No, the weather.
I'm doing great. It's just the weather.
When I walked out, so Caliber and I are commuting, and I walked out with him at like 7 a.m. in the freezing Jersey cold, and I said, this is the time of year where I hate living in the Northeast. Mm-hmm. It's the only time of year where I hate living in this area.
Great Northeast.
I turn to him and I go, just this time?
But,
warm weather.
But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot to get into because this episode was pretty nutty, to say the least. And before we get into it, I do want to thank everybody who either donated or super chatted in last week's episode. A huge thank you to Nick Schoner, Colin Cleaves, Pick Rick, Shark Messiah, Odd Eyes Vaughn, Tyler DeBoer, Kay, Chapel of Flapple, Natalie the Exposed, Dark Emperor J, Crystal Colden, Solid Snack, Not Barrett Letty, Limestone, and Brian Ford. And a special thank you to Angie and Space Cowgirl, who both donated very, very large amounts last week. Thank you to the two ladies. Girl power. Super appreciated. And the upgrades coming to the studio. We are getting 5 new microphones that will be used, hopefully, for next week's podcast. I'm waiting for some Black Friday deals. Might wait till Cyber Monday to see if anything else, happens. So I can't guarantee that they'll be ready by next episode, but definitely 2 episodes from now. We will all be speaking into, Shure microphones, and the audio quality should be really, really good. So that is really great cameras.
Four
great microphones. So that is going to be great. And again, we can only make upgrades to this podcast, to this production, to this studio, thanks to the generosity of all of you guys. And of course, first and foremost, the viewership and the watching of all of you guys. So thank you. We've got is this working? I don't know if this is working. We've got a lot to get into, man. UDS Kuaidul. UDS takes a big fat L. I believe his first loss since the Duty Nisha duel. I know you can say that, he probably, lost at the end of last arc, but Kuaidul was involved in that, and so it's hard for me to view that as just UDS. Like, this was the first time UDS really, really took a straight-up L since that Duty Nisha duel, which was 40 episodes ago at this point.
Long time.
So, man, really, really cool stuff. Do either of you guys want to start us off?
I mean, I think I'm ready to let you start it off.
Okay.
I agree with that.
I'm going to keep this monologue somewhat short.
There is a review out.
There's a review out,
Yeah.
but not only that, because I really want to hear from the two of you.
He wants to hear
Because
our general
You
thoughts.
also are unlimited time, so
Oh,
you
that's
know.
true. And I also picked correctly, so that helps.
Well, don't worry, I'm going to get to that.
Oh, really? You are?
Absolutely,
I
of
hope so.
course,
Hope
of
so.
course.
I want to make sure you address it.
No, I'm happy you're
The elephant
keeping,
in the room.
I'm happy
No.
you're keeping me
Oh,
honest.
I always keep. You know, I always do that.
All right, he's a great guy, chat. This was such an important episode going in. People, I think, were starting to feel a little worried about the direction of the show. I know some people were feeling a little bit disenfranchised with the show because of the start that this arc got off to, you know, being in the space-time for how long we were in the space-time for. Hell, 2 of the 5 members of this podcast fell asleep in the middle of last week's episode.
And they were
That's
kicked
actually
off.
a true statement.
I know the 2 of them aren't here.
They were kicked off the podcast.
They were kicked off the podcast. I mean,
Or
but
at
that
least a 1 week ban.
but that's what it was getting to. But and you know, it's just because there wasn't a lot of action with the plot. We weren't really moving forward. And you know, here's the thing. I said, all right, 78. We're going into the space time. As long as this is done by 84, 85, I'll be okay. Now that was my max limit, and thank God, right at the end, 85, 2 feet in bounds. They just made it. But there were some people who probably maybe their limit was like 82, 83, and it's just like, all right, can we get back to Kuaidul? Can we get back to that end of what happened at the last arc with Darkness, Tyrant, which, you know, the joint tech, which of course we finally saw come to fruition. But it was getting so long that some people were worried that we weren't even going to see that card again. I mean, that's how long it had been.
Yeah.
And I think the other, you know, accumulated fear behind that is we were so close to the end of the show.
Yes.
That's the other thing, right? If this is in the middle of the show, I'm okay with them being in some weird space time for 7, 8, 9 episodes, whatever. But we're near the end of the show. Like, we probably have less than 20 episodes here. So, like, as every week's going by, it's like, all right, can we skip to the good part? You know, just waiting and waiting. And so, back against the wall, we know it's Yugioh Kuaidul going in, and I felt the episode completely hit it out of the park. Wonderful, wonderful episode. 100%. Got the show back on track, back to the level that we know Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush is capable of being. Kuaidul continues to just be this insane god-level threat, and it's very rare that you finish watching a Yu-Gi-Oh! Episode and you genuinely think, shit, we're in trouble. I mean, we're in trouble here. Our main character just lost to Kuaidul. Everybody's trapped in the space-time. Yugi ends the episode by saying, no matter how much we beg, scream, cry, plead, we're stuck. We can't do anything. So you do have this feeling of hopelessness and that Kuaidul is going to end up basically assimilating the entire universe. And it just makes him such a fascinating and strong and compelling villain and threat to watch. So episode, I think we really, really needed it to be at a high level like we saw the previous arc end at, and I think they nailed it, man. I really, really loved it. And Kuaidul winning was the right call. Dredger picked it right, as well as Nick T.
The more shocking part is Nick T got it right.
Yeah, that's
the
shocking. That's shocking. Yeah. Well, I'll say, and you know, Dredger picked it Wednesday night, Friday in his stream. Pokemon, he said, and you said, my heart is telling me to pick Kuaidul.
Yeah.
My mind is telling me
it
Yugioh.
was, which is true, but that's because the way that I think the show and want the show to go, I didn't think they'd go in this direction. As we thought Yugioh couldn't lose here, right?
Yes.
It didn't make sense, but then the way that they spun it, it worked.
So when he picks with his heart, he gets it right. When I pick with my heart, Aoi's Eisen gets, God smacked by Bowman. That's just what happens. So, a lesson in life there. Some people are allowed to pick with their heart and be right, and others are not. So, hats off to Dredge there. Great pick on that part. But no, it was the right call, and I'm happy it happened. I'm happy they went down that route. I also completely, a lot of my thought on Yugioh winning this duel was because the 86 summary made it seem like they were in a classroom and they were out of the space-time.
Yeah.
I analyzed the preview of 85 very incorrectly. I thought they'd be trapped in the deck box, but they weren't trapped in the deck box.
They're in a classroom.
They're in a classroom, and the white background was just there in that shot. So definitely was led a bit astray by that. And, hey, hats off to the people that picked Kuaidul. You got it right, and I think totally it was the right call. Cal, your thoughts on episode 86? 85, my apologies.
Yeah, I was going to say 86, I'm not sure yet. 85 I liked a lot. Like you were saying, it really, I don't want to say it got us back on track because we were always trending towards this, but it really, it got us back up to speed. Like, our tempo, we're back. There is a real threat. We can see the threat again. It's not just like this overarching, we'll get there when we get there. which is how I used to feel about Otis in Sevens, where it was like, he's going to be a threat, you know, and then we just waited until he finally came out right at the end. The episode was good. The duel was great. I thought when Kuaidul sets up the field right away to just be like, yeah, you could summon level 7s without tributing anything, and everyone's like, wait, what? And then all the big monsters just start coming out on the field right away. I mean, it brought the intensity to 100 like right off the bat, and I thought that was really good. Like there was no like dancing around waiting for the duel to start either. Like they jumped right into it. Everybody's confused as hell. Like, why are we in this classroom? All of a sudden, everybody's got a card on their shirt. And cool. It was really cool. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, I picked Yugioh to win. I was wrong. I thought Yugioh can't lose. Like now, he hasn't really had a big duel in forever. I love that he lost.
Yeah, me too.
I just never thought it was going to happen. And Dredger, luckily, picked with his heart instead of what he thought.
True.
I mean, I think the direction of the show now, it's like it has to be fast-paced because
has to be.
One, like you said, maybe 20 episodes left, and also even if you're just looking at an arc perspective, unless this is like a 2-arc ordeal, what do we have, 5 episodes?
I believe this was episode 8.
So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13?
I think we've got 5 episodes left of this arc. Yeah.
I just have a feeling, similarly to last arc, we had our slow climb, and now we are shooting to the stars. Like, we're going to go. And
you have to.
I mean, just that idea alone made this episode really good because they're, I feel like now everything's starting to go full speed, 100%. But the episode on its own, I mean, was just great. Kuaidul is a presence like season 1 or arc 1, now Yugioh. Like, that's the presence I feel. It's just this big, like, he's on screen, he's captivating, he's strong, he's terrifying, like, he has this, he has power over everyone. So, I mean, for me, the episode was great, Kuaidul's great, and now I'm excited to see where we go from here.
Yeah. No, I'm happy you liked it. Dredge, interested to hear your thoughts.
Yeah. I had been very troubled with the last few episodes. I made that very clear.
You and Pete.
Me and Pete have been the most, I guess, hard on the show.
Very troubled.
Yeah, very troubled, but very hard on it, very critical. Very, very, very happy with this episode.
Okay.
This episode really restored my faith, and it was. I wouldn't say my faith was totally gone or dwindled to about nothing, but I was concerned, with the way they were going. But now, especially with this villain, we have a universal size villain. They literally just said, we're getting back to your point of, Yuhi, I think you said it too. Yuhi kind of saying, begging, please, we can't get out of here. And while that's happening, he's going to do this to everyone. Yeah. He wants everyone in the universe's galaxies to be his cards. That's terrifying.
Yeah,
just
you're right.
I'm getting the chills just saying that out loud.
You're right. You're right.
We have this high level threat.
Earth,
all life
in the universe.
In the universe, not even just Earth, every planet. You know? And to have a villain of that level, and also, he got this deck, right? This deck is, from all intents and purposes, terrible. It's not a good deck. He has all level 7s. He just happens to have cards that allow him to summon those 7s, right? Because if you think about it, it's like it just shows. It doesn't even matter if his deck is that good, right? He created his deck, and the way he created it was very, childish. As Epoch even said in the episode, was like, though you can't make a deck like that, man. But then, he made it work. Just imagine if he actually had a deck that made sense. How well he could have worked. Yeah.
These are all just individual pieces that have come together. And
so he's like, I'll take here, your best card, and that's how he won, right? Imagine if he had his own deck that he took the time to act. He'd be insane.
Yeah.
So again, this episode, it really did a great job. And whether Kuaidul or Yugioh won or not, I was confident they were going to make it work. I think the Kuaidul win makes more sense, especially now that we know he's a universal size villain. Kind of like a Galactus, right? He devours universes is the argument. So that being said, very, very happy with where it went. I think next episode, I hope, even though we have Tremolo, Phaser, and we have the girls are with Phaser now, which is a little comedic gag, I think. I hope the plot is progressing in the background.
I'm confident it will.
And that's the thing, is I feel better about it now.
That's
even
the
though
difference. Because Kuaidul made his move.
Of course, he made his move. And
we're
again,
not waiting for that.
And I'm just so glad he didn't lose there. He loses there, it just takes away his validity. And again, last week, we put out multiple polls and asking, is Kuaidul the final villain? Now you're like, How long is it gonna take them to get at? We thought they would
Did
be
you
out
think he
of
was the
space-time.
final villain last week?
I think that I picked it, but I didn't think so. Like I picked it in the poll and said, "Oh, I'm gonna pick in the poll," but I really was more like I could think it's anyone. I think I remember saying that if you go back and watch.
I think I said it was somebody else.
I think I said it could be anyone else
I
at
think
this
I said
point.
it was the Damar.
I had people in my Pokemon stream earlier tell me that it was Mystery Girl and all this stuff, and I'm like, I don't know if we're gonna go that crazy. And then
The mystery girl has sadly disappeared. There was
Yeah.
a good stretch where she was hot. I mean,
Oh,
she was
yeah,
in
real
every
hot,
episode.
yeah.
She was on Zion's planet.
Yeah.
I'm still a believer in
I
that.
still think she's around, but obviously,
I think there will be a reveal with
I
her
hope
character.
So. Be good, like a little spy thing. or
I still
something.
believe it. I'm still.
But overall,
holding true.
just very, very happy, very more like almost at ease now. Like I'm very confident. Like, all right, now the next episode's gonna be good. The next one's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Like, at the point I was at, I was like, I don't know if the next one's gonna be good. Am I gonna really enjoy the next one? We had 2 members of this podcast fall asleep in the last one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to fall asleep, but even I was kind of sitting there like, really? That's what I'm watching right now. This is what I'm spending my time watching, and I was like, they can do better. They can do better. And then come this episode, I remember I messaged you before because I was going to watch it on Monday. I'm like, hey, like, what'd you think? And you didn't oversell. He's like, I thought it was really good. It helped. I'm like, all right. So then I watched, and I'm like, wow, like, I think you undersold me. That really hit a lot of points. Yep. And it did everything I asked it to and more. So definitely excited with Go Rush's direction now. For sure.
You just feel, and thanks for the opinions there, guys. Happy you enjoyed it as much as I did.
Yeah.
Definitely, chat, let us know if you liked it as well, in the poll and just in the comments. Definitely just felt like an episode that they kind of had to have.
Yeah.
I mean, really. Like, you had to have this episode.
It's kind of like game 3, and especially that. And let's go hockey here. Hockey plays all 7-game series.
Yeah.
Game 3, you're down 2-0. You need that game.
Yep.
This
It's
is
a
like
must
if
win.
you don't
It's
win
a
that,
must win.
I honestly have no faith you have any chance in the series. Same with this arc. I thought this arc. If this this episode doesn't deliver, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm very like, okay, we'll get him back next arc.
Well,
I'd honestly be at that point, and I don't want to be that. We have 5 episodes that. I don't want them just to be nothing episodes. I want them to be good episodes that build up, whether it be Kuaidul or Yugioh or Yui, whoever it is that's going to come help save the day, right? So you don't want that.
Kuaidul is such a universal level threat, and I'm not sure in Yu-Gi-Oh if we've ever had a threat
This
this
size.
big. I mean, I think about there's been a lot of threats in Yu-Gi-Oh that have threatened the Earth, right, the world.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between the world and the universe.
Yeah. Well, remember, we
I mean, every piece of life in the
space.
universe. I don't think any Yu-Gi-Oh villain has touched
nothing's
that.
went that far.
I think of the final one in Zale, but that's more of the Barian world and Astro world and Earth. That's not the universe. I mean, on
but I guess for multiple worlds, if you're saying that would be the next closest.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I think it is.
Because even in GX, they go to that the other side. But that's not
darkness and everyone on Earth. But that's
again,
Earth.
It's still Earth. Yeah,
that's
I agree.
Earth.
It's not.
And maybe it would have expanded to the universe, but
because
again, that level.
Neos, those Neos and all, where they're from the other elemental. Oh my God, what are they called? The other
Elemental Hero?
Is it the elemental hero?
No, Neospatian.
The Neospatian.
Yeah.
Right. So it's that space involvement, right? That's what we're looking for. And again, this show, remember we were talking. By episode 100 we'll get to space. It was episode 30 or 40 we got to space, and that's when we knew. Wow, they're going real. And also. We also take into account we have multiple timelines realistically involved here.
Yeah.
So now you're telling me we got the whole universe involved.
Yep.
And we got the Go Rush and 7's because Yuga's here. They went to that point in time. Mm-hmm. This is a multifaceted and level threat that Yugioh has not seen.
Well, I'm happy you brought him up.
I know.
I had a very heated debate.
I didn't even know. I had to go back
with the wonderful people in chat after my watch along on Sunday night, where I had brought up this character. It's not a crazy thing to say. He's the only character that I can think of right now that's super relevant that is not trapped in the space time.
You gotta add that part.
And that is
Yugioh.
Yeah. And that is Yugioh.
What?
How would you feel? And I listen. I have the results from the poll I ran Sunday night, where over 200 people voted. So thank you. How would you feel? I'm very passionate about this. How would you feel if Yugioh single-handedly, with no help, takes down and defeats Kuaidul? That's how Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush ends.
I wouldn't be happy.
Okay.
In the slightest, because. Nothing against Yugioh. I love Yugioh's character. I know Pete's already going to go to the aid of Yugioh. I can see it in my mind. You can see it in chat now. He's going to go. Oh, let him. Yes, but this isn't his show.
I love Yugioh too.
It's not his time to shine. He did that. He saved the day at the end of 7's. No matter how you look at it, no matter where 7's at, no matter we get Yu-Gi-Oh! 9, which is a trilogy, whatever you want to say. Yugioh had those moments. He did. Yugioh not the best duels, right? But won when he needed to and when everything was on the line. I get that. He can't win we have 3 protagonists. Why are we taking the 7th? Why is he winning?
Yeah.
Does he deserve to win? No. What's he done this show that he deserves to win this high level of duel? Tell me. No, explain. Which one? What has he done?
Well,
nothing.
I'm in agreement with you.
I know.
But this show, he tied against the twins.
Yeah, I know.
He lost to Phaser.
Yeah.
He lost to Yugioh. So even within the realm
honestly,
of his dueling in
know
the
what the
show,
problem is too? He's due for a win. That's what makes me even more nervous about it. He's
wouldn't
due
be-
for that.
It wouldn't be believable.
But they can still do it.
Cal, what's your opinion on it? And be honest, because there are a lot of people that are open to it. There's a lot of people that would love it.
So I'm gonna start with my opinion.
Okay.
I wouldn't love it. I definitely wouldn't love it.
Okay.
But I want to play devil's advocate a little bit. Like I just want to play the other
Someone's
side.
gotta play.
I mean, yeah.
I'm not gonna.
Well, because
Because-
Pete would have. I think Pete would love to see it, but
Well,
he's not here. So,
And I don't think it would be the end of the world.
So you're open to it.
But the reason I'm saying that, I mean, I really don't
Let
want
him
it to
run
be
it
honest.
back.
But I think that if it's going to be a trilogy and the 3rd show starts at Yugioh returning to the 7's timeline, that is a weirdly fitting end to the show.
No,
It fixes the timeline problem and he's able to go back. I don't think I would want it to happen.
But okay, but
But is that not?
What's making Dylan upset is it can make it work.
No, but
That's why it's
what
like
I'm saying
shit.
No.
theoretically,
no.
if that was the end, if that's end game right there,
Yeah.
Yugioh takes down, and maybe it's not like a 1-on-1, maybe it's like a team effort, or he's using whatever it is. He has the ID
playing
cards of
devil's
all
advocate.
his
Let him
7's people, and he goes in and he wins somehow,
Yeah.
and that's what fixes his ability to go back to his own timeline for good.
Yeah.
And that's where the show ends. Once again, the show ends the same way it ended in 7's, where the ship is coming down.
I think there's a chance that's the final shot of Go
and
Rush.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
that's
really
it.
do.
And then-
No, I really do.
And then it's going to start there for the 3rd show. It's not an impossible.
No,
end.
it's not impossible, but you can get to that same result, and these are 2 totally different scenarios.
Oh, in any way.
With Yugioh and Yugioh teaming up to take down Kuaidul.
Well, that's why I say it doesn't have to be on his own.
But those are 2 that I'm fine with.
Oh, so you're just talking about like
I'm
solo.
talking about Yugioh soloing
No, 'cause then
Quaidul.
you-
Now the big
still
argument
happen.
on the
I wouldn't
pro
think
side of it is Yugioh caused all of this. He effed up.
He has to fix it.
He messed up. He has to
Yeah,
fix
I
it. So that's the big argument that I've seen with people that would love Yugioh 1-on-1 defeating Kuaidul. Obviously, the 3 of us are not in that camp, so there's not really a debate that we can have,
There's-
unfortunately.
There's a weird part of me. I'm sorry to cut you off, but there's a weird part of me that thinks like, in order for this whole timeline to be fixed, the timeline might have to come to an end. I'm like, and I'm not like,
Hey,
I
Yeah.
don't-
it's not
may-
wrong.
And,
Sure.
and maybe it's because I've been watching other shows with timelines that stuff like that happens, but it's just like, if Yugioh's way out is going back, and this was more of a him saving, like attempting to save whatever was going on here, and it's just like, all right, like the only way to win, like if we win, we're screwed either way. We're either trapped in this forever or the timeline's gone. And basically they put it in Yugioh's hands to say like people would rather not be trapped in this thing for the rest of their lives and not know where they are. I don't know.
That's
It's
a dark
I-
ending.
You know, it's funny
but-
you say that. So I actually
But
want
it
to.
still could have
I'll
with
piggyback
Yugioh
that.
winning and leaving.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't
I'll
know. I don't know if a
piggyback it.
Yu-Gi-Oh show
So
it on that
I'll
way.
piggyback
I'm
that with
just
someone in
saying.
chat gave me this idea. I forget who it was. I'll have to go back and find
Okay.
it in a minute. But they said, what if we do like we were pretty confident we have a trilogy in the making. I'd argue we're like 53%. I'd say we're just above half.
I'd
Well,
say
so-
70-30 where we have a trilogy.
So-
Okay, so what
so-
would you say? What's your percentage?
I would put it at like probably like 70-30 as well. But there's other people that are very against it and
Yeah.
don't think it'll be a
I
trilogy.
think the thing is, people can be against it, but you still could think it's going to happen. You know what I mean?
True.
From that
Yeah.
argument.
Well, I want it to
but
happen.
so
So
I'm in agreement with as long as it's
not same character
yeah,
designs.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Well, somebody has to continue for it to be a trilogy.
with
Someone has to
that being
continue into the
said,
show.
though, someone said, "What if it's an Empire Strikes Back kind of where Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's the good guys kind of won? This show, the villains win." I know. Again, it's in
That's-
Yu-Gi-Oh.
yeah.
Does that make it? Have we ever seen it? No, we've never seen it. But
No.
sometimes you need to break old molds to build better things. Yu-Gi-Oh! 9, they come back and they save the day.
I don't disagree with that, but
I agree. I don't think it's gonna happen. Wouldn't that be great?
It would be. I just don't. I can't see a Yu-Gi-Oh ending that way. I can't.
I hope they do.
You know, I think the closest we got was probably in Vrains, honestly, with dying.
You could argue that was.
Yeah, I mean, he was a character from the very first episode.
Yes.
I mean, he was a major character, and then Yusaku disappearing for 3 months. So,
Yeah.
but you know, the tone of Vrains compared to the tone of Sevens and Go Rush, I mean, they're
But
totally
that's all
different.
so far, Rush Yu-Gi-Oh hasn't had anywhere near the same tones as the original because they just can't.
But you're allowed
they're
to
more
change
aimed
the
at
tone.
younger. If it was aimed more at that 16, 17, 18-year-old where you're puberty, you don't know what's going on, then you could put some of those themes in there because they would understand.
They
it
did
better.
age up the characters a little bit. So I think they're kind of going
Talk-
that
touching
way.
on
How
war.
old did they originally start at? What's the argument? They started at what ages?
9 or 10, probably.
So now they're 11 and 12, 12 and 13.
well, the
That's still
aliens
young.
are. I'd say the Yugioh Yugioh stuff, though, has been at a level that we probably didn't see.
Yeah,
in
a little
Sevens
bit.
in
I
terms of
agree.
the maturity tones.
Go Rush has
But-
already had. Remember we did this like probably about a month ago. We were like, can we name any Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens villain that's as good as any of the ones in Go Rush? And we were like,
No.
not really.
Some people would argue Yuo or Go Hyuga, but they
Maybe.
had 4 episodes.
Maybe, yeah,
Come
but
on.
I agree.
I mean, really.
That's the thing. It's like
You know.
it's different.
It
Yeah,
was by
different
the way,
tones.
Chad said it was 5th grade to 7th grade. So it's like 12 to 14 or 12 to 11 to 13.
11 to 13. No,
There is
Yeah,
no
you turn
way
15, 16, 17.
Yeah,
you get your
yeah,
license.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yuga is not 13 years old. There's no way.
Well, no. He is caught in the wrong timeline. He probably doesn't age.
No, I mean in Sevens, he was not 13 years
He
old.
didn't
No,
look
we're
13.
talking about
No,
Go
he
Rush.
would have been
Oh,
11.
Go Rush.
Talking about Go
I'm
Rush,
sorry.
talking
I
about Go
thought you were
Rush.
talking about Sevens.
No,
Okay.
no.
Well, when I ran this poll, over 200 people voted. 43% said that they'd be open to the idea of Yuga 1v1ing Kuaidul.
43%.
30%.
You won me, bro.
30% said they would love it.
So you're telling me 73% wants this.
27% said they would hate it.
73% wants the pro tag
Before-
of a
no,
previous show to win.
I think that's skewed data reading. 43% are open to it. Not that they want it. They're open to the idea.
But the fact that here's the thing: you have 73% are open to it or want it, and you only have 27 that are against
You
it.
could also read that as 70% would hate it or are open to it.
But those are two different things: hate and open versus like it. You know they're different.
I-
Don't even try to
yeah.
don't try to skew the data. You're
No,
trying
I'm not
to
skewing
word
the
it.
data. 43%, they don't have an opinion.
Well, Dill.
No, that's not true either.
Dill, I think.
Not having an opinion would be omitting the answer. Wouldn't even answer.
I think love would be like compared to great, open would be compared to good, and then hate would be compared to bad.
Well, I did say love/like it and hate/dislike it.
Oh, so you added a lot. in
Really,
there.
you added so many variables, bro. I couldn't tell you what a
Okay,
that data means nothing.
I'm not going to have 8 options for people to vote
should've.
on. I
Not
don't think
admitted
YouTube
it.
even allows that.
Then you would have. Then we've got real data. You want real data?
I'm interested because I always go back. What was most of chat saying? What was the vibe you got? Liked it? Didn't like it? The
What, the
idea when we were
idea?
discussing
Oh,
it. Were any of you guys paying?
I got a lot of trolls in chat. I got a lot of people saying like, let
Everybody's
Yuga solo
saying let
him.
Yuga cook.
Yeah, it's tough reading this
Trolls.
stuff, man. Dude, it's just like people want another poll. Little bro wants to get in the kitchen. We want him to cook.
Still
I don't know
50,
some of these
50.
comments, man.
All right, we'll run another poll. I'm a man of democracy.
All right,
I'm
well,
a man of the
This
people.
is so Jake said it in chat, and this is kind of what I was like thinking of when I said like maybe the timeline would have to end. Like Yugioh could sacrifice himself to get Yuga home.
Yeah, just that poll.
That's the way like I was thinking.
For
about it.
once, the poll adds up to 100. I just want to make that very clear.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, now it doesn't. It just changed, bro. It was good a second.
This is the best
98.
results I've seen
stupid, dude.
in a very long time.
Yeah.
72% great, 23% good, 2% decent, 1%
So
bad.
95%.
That's
thought it was
a
good or great.
crazy good poll.
95%.
Yeah, obviously people loved the episode, and so did we. Clearly, so
I
let
mean,
me.
you knew. All right, I just want to. I got because we have one of our members of the podcast put in a comment. Clueless Gamers said hashtag let Yuga solo. So we actually have. So out of the three of us, we all three. I think we'll
riding
argue.
solo.
We'll argue.
He's riding
Cal
solo.
said Cal's open to it. Cal doesn't want it, but he's open to it.
No,
Me and
I
Dylan.
I don't think I'm not even really open to
You're
it.
just
I
playing
can
devil's
just see
advocate.
it. I
You
can
see
see
it.
the.
Okay, but you're
I can
not-
see the path that they could take.
This is a want thing. Do you want it or not?
No, I don't
Okay.
want it.
So me, Dylan,
That's
and
why I was playing devil's advocate.
that's fair.
though,
I know.
because
I like that.
I could see the other
Yeah.
side.
Me, Dylan,
The eyes in the back of my
and
head.
Cal don't want it. Pete wants it.
I'm wording,
Pete's
I'm
ready.
wording the poll a little differently.
Okay,
Would
let me
you
see.
be a fan of Yuga soloing Kuaidul?
There you go, I like it. Yes.
Yes, no, indifferent, unsure.
That's fine, because then now you'll get real results.
Yeah.
I like that. Also, did you hear what I said? Pete is 100% for.
I knew that on Sunday.
I could see
I knew that when I did my I knew that on Sunday.
You
when I
knew
did
that
my
the minute you watched it.
Yeah. I mean,
This is getting more. I still think we're gonna get a lot of yeses. I
I'm
really
gonna-
do.
I'm gonna do a guess right off the bat.
I don't think we will.
I'm gonna say 30% yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 35% no, and the rest are indifferent, unsure.
How?
So
by,
basically
the,
even.
by the way, how do you think people that did not watch Sevens that have only watched Go Rush would feel about that?
They would be okay with it.
Oh, I think they'd hate it.
Really?
Yeah.
People that didn't watch Seven.
People that
why
didn't
they
watch
don't they
Sevens.
don't know.
Yeah, but it's a character that they know is not
I guess maybe
actually
that's why.
from
Okay,
the
yeah, that's
show.
fair. I didn't. I thought of it a different way. Okay.
Yeah,
I
I'm
got
seeing
you.
what you because you.
No, I know what you mean.
don't
You're,
know- yeah.
I think I agree with you now after you wording it. I'm like, yeah.
I think it would cause mayhem.
I would. I agree.
I think it would cause mayhem.
Like, why is this guy from another show coming in?
Yeah, yeah.
We've seen this guy in 12 total episodes. Why is he?
And by the way, there are plenty of people that love Go Rush, hate Sevens, love Sevens, hate Go Rush. It's very similar to the Zexel and Arc 5 and Arc 5 and Vrain's communities just
Why?
hating each other.
Here's my issue, right?
What? Why?
No. It's Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. Why?
So, do you like Yu-Gi-Oh? This is the question. Everyone in chat. Do
No,
you like?
I
Period.
agree.
There's no Vrains at the end. There's no Go Rush at. There's no Sevens at. There's no DM. Do you like Yu-Gi-Oh? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes. So you enjoy it all.
But
Yes. It may not be as good as you. It may not have the right. But it's Yu-Gi-Oh.
The overall concept of
Why are
Yu-Gi-Oh
we here
is liked.
to talk about how great Yu-Gi-Oh as a whole is? Right?
Or
Yes.
how bad it is.
Or how bad. We don't have to like things, but it's Yu-Gi-Oh.
I agree with you. I've never understood why. Well, no, I understand it, but I don't. I just wish it was different.
I agree. But
Because I understand why the Zexel fans hate Arc 5. I understand why Arc 5 fans hate Vrains.
I'm not
Because their
saying-
show ends, and then the next show begins,
And they don't
then the fans of those shows trash on the previous show.
which is the problem in
Right.
itself. Why are we
Yes.
trashing on Yu-Gi-Oh? It's
Right.
Yu-Gi-Oh. It's still good,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like even me. So I've watched. I can and this is not by you guys know. Like I'm pretty neutral. I'm not like when I don't like something, I tell you guys.
Oh, you're
right?
very honest.
So I've watched 6 of the Yu-Gi-Oh shows. Right? Technically 6 full. I watched all 6, and we're caught up on this one. And there's even though I said GX was E at times, it's still good. I still enjoyed it.
I agree.
I still liked it. I still enjoyed it all, even though sometimes I was like, why we have someone one off.
It's once you
There's
start
things I don't
comparing.
like about it, right? And
Yeah.
compare. Why are we comparing?
Yeah,
They're
me
their
too.
own entities. They're their own stories, right? So me personally, Vrains, even though I talk about, I'm not a huge fan of certain things in Vrains or certain things in but I like them all.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you have people out here who only like, I don't like DM and Vrains, nothing else. What do you mean?
Yeah.
It's all Yu-Gi-Oh! It's the
Yeah.
same concept. Yes, they're different. So
I
different characters,
agree with you,
different
man.
themes. But how? This doesn't make any sense. I bet your chat's like going off right now. I can
No,
tell before they were, I saw it and I was like, oh god.
I agree with you. I think
You know?
I love you for that, man.
Yeah.
I mean it's like the beautiful thing about Yu-Gi-Oh. I think about it like imagine being in France, right? It's 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning.
I don't know where we're going.
And you're walking down the streets of
Let him cook.
Marseille, right? And you smell the bread.
Yep.
And you walk into the bread shop, and this very kind old lady greets you, bonjour. And you sit down, and you've got 8 different pastry options. You've got your croissant.
Oh, no.
You've got your, baked breads. You've got your bagels. You've got your muffins. You've got all these options. That's basically like the 8 different Yu-Gi-Oh shows. Right? Duel Monsters are the muffins.
still like
Bagels
bread.
are the Go Rush. Croissants are the Vrains. And, like, there's something there for everyone. And sometimes you're in the mood for one over the other.
Yeah.
But they all have their positives,
And
you
they're
know?
all bread at the end of the day.
And they're all bread at the end of the day.
Unless you're gluten free, then get the hell out of the bakery. I'm gonna tell you, bro. Like, gee, just get out.
if you're gluten-free.
If you're gonna be gluten free, you know.
One Piece is that way if you're gluten-free. That's
Hey,
Hey,
that was good.
Shout out to One Piece.
They're gonna fuck
Shout-
copy.
shout
They're gonna
out-
copyright strike.
Shout out to Latrell. I know he's a big fan. But no, but that's I listen. I like it, Treasure. You just tackled one of the biggest
it's
roadblocks of the
so-
Yu-Gi-Oh anime fandom: elitism.
I think that my issue, the reason I did that is because, like, first of all, I'm not. It's not my channel. So I'm just part of the podcast. But like, I see so many people arguing, and I'm like, why are you wasting your time and breath arguing your show's bad, this show's bad? They're all good.
Yeah.
They all are for their different reasons.
I agree,
right?
man. I agree.
Like I just. this is gonna get real story. It's like what goes on in the world we live in, right? Guys? There's so much stuff every day. All this crazy stuff happens in the world, right? And I'm not gonna touch on anything specific. Just every day. There's the news. Is there anything positive in the news anymore?
No, I don't watch the news.
Why can't we have our little world where Yu-Gi-Oh is just we enjoy it?
Yeah.
We have fun. We play at Duel Links. We made sure that Dylan summoned 2 Dragius and I bricked my draw. Like just enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh as a whole. That's all we got to do.
Yeah.
Well,
you know what? You've said the mission. That is the mission statement of this channel for the last
It really
7
has
years.
been.
It has been. I always try to focus
Yu-Gi-Oh
on
is
the
for everyone.
positives.
All
yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh is for everyone.
Yeah, there's good in every Yu-Gi-Oh. Absolutely.
Can I
and that speaks to another thing. You focus on the positives. If you don't like something, drop it and don't engage.
That's
the
fine
discourse.
too.
And just life will be a lot better.
Yeah.
It just will be.
It will be.
I guarantee
It's
you.
the truth.
It will
Like,
be.
and that's the thing. If you're not liking Rush Yu-Gi-Oh, you don't have to
Drop
watch
it.
it. But that doesn't mean
I tell people to drop
but
it all the time.
You can drop it, then don't go on Twitter and start
That's the-
hating on.
that's
Why?
where it
You don't
crosses
need to-
a line,
If
yeah.
you don't like it, that's cool. Like there's people. This is another thing. People at Attack on Titan. There's people who absolutely despise
Yep.
Attack on Titan. Right?
Yep.
You've heard me. I love it. I think it's great. Do I go and yell at them? You like Attack on Titan. No. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And they don't.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And then I'll talk to people that do enjoy it.
Yeah, and that's
There's plenty of them.
And that's the thing. It's like, but we don't need to yell at each other about like, oh, this. Just you don't like it. It's not for you. Cool.
Yeah.
No worries. You don't like Go Rush Yu-Gi-Oh. Cool. That's fine. No worries. I like DM. I like DM more than Vrains. That's my opinion. That doesn't mean make it a fact. That's my opinion.
Right.
That doesn't mean I don't think Vrains was good. It's just things like that we have all these arguments about nothing. We're literally yell at each other to have an argument.
It's like the old man yelling at the cloud meme, Or it's just like
Well, no, but then the cloud's yelling back.
yeah.
And then,
Well, that's when it starts to rain.
Yeah,
and the
and
lightning
then
and the
it gets-
thunder.
and
Yeah.
But like it's such a good point in literally everything. I feel like
Life.
people just want to be right,
Yeah.
and like their opinion is fact.
Yep.
And that's where it becomes a problem because then it's like, no, that's not a good show. It's like, well,
No.
I actually liked
Yeah.
it, so to me, it's a good show.
Mm-hmm.
To you,
It's not.
okay, that's
okay.
cool. We'll talk about something else.
Judge, that tirade might be a short on the channel.
You can put it on.
It might
I'm
have
down
to
with
be.
it.
Also,
I'm down. Please.
it might have-
Please.
Pete had a
Yeah.
comment on what Judger said.
Yeah, what's this
And
comment?
simply said,
Oh, no.
I am putting Dredge next to other historical greats. He healed a nation tonight.
Oh, I love you, Pete. That was good.
Well, anyway, because I know you guys probably do have to leave very soon.
Yeah.
So just back to the episode. Obviously, we all really liked it. What did you make of the new ace, Transamu Prime?
It was really cool.
Freaky. Like it's just
freaky,
that
yes.
mirror.
Yeah, but it
mirror
didn't.
turn-
It looked like Yugioh.
100%. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
gonna
with
be-
the hair.
There's
yeah.
going to be something deep between them.
Of course,
I
that's
really
gonna have
do
a
believe that.
connection.
Yeah.
You know, if I think it'll be that Transumu Rhynek, that original like fusion we had that Udi's has versus I think that makes the most sense, right? They have to. That's like that inner battle he's having, I guess, right? Because technically Udius is from Kuaidul, right? That's the argument. Kuaidul created, So that's gonna be interesting to see. But it was a cool image. I was looking like, is that supposed to be like? Is this supposed to be like mirror Udius? Right
Yeah.
now? So that looked good.
It was really cool.
Yeah. The animation in the episode is also very good.
It was very good. Well, even at the very end where Udius is running back to them all happy, and then like he sees that ace monster and he freezes up.
Yeah.
There is going to be something deep between Udius and that ace. I think actually Udius is going to obtain that ace, and he's going to use that to
Against
defeat
him.
Kuaidul or whoever the final threat is.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
it's fair.
After this episode, I'm truly 50-50 on it for the first time since Kuaidul was introduced, that Kuaidul is or isn't the final boss.
What were you last week?
I was like 70-30.
Okay.
That he wasn't.
Was
But-
not.
but
Now
the-
you're back up to 50.
The way that he was, I also thought that he was going to lose this duel.
Yeah.
So that changed.
True,
So
true,
The
that
way
is-
that he was presented in this duel, even the imagery, right? We see him and he's this 100-foot giant.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah,
he can just take the form however he wants because he's basically God. Like he can do anything
Yeah.
that he wants, and I guess he allowed Udius to duel him, right? I mean, that wasn't really clarified.
They didn't touch on that. It's like everyone else got like, because remember, everyone got.
Well, he didn't beam him up like in the same way.
But, and there
But he was still part of the 40-person
We're also
room.
forgetting to.
Well, there's the one card that didn't have
We
a person.
we also have to. That there wasn't purposely an empty chair, and they
Yep.
showed it. As I think that has bigger meaning. I honestly don't know.
I thought it
what.
was Udius's chair.
I think that's too obvious. I think that makes that's your obvious. That's what it is.
Go, bro.
That does.
No, if the
Actually,
card,
if it is, that's good. Then he can't solo him.
if the card on the desk was Seven's Road Magician, then yeah, I'd believe
But
it.
I think I agree with you. I think most likely
Seven's Road Rhynek.
most likely it is Udius's chair. But I think the symbolism there is if it's not, who are we missing? Which I like. I like that mysteriousness to it. Maybe this episode we'll see during the episode we'll go back and pan to that room and the chair is now down. It's like, wait, but who came up? Who's been up? So I hope that could be a little plot progression there. Who's the 40th character? Is it Yugioh?
I do want to.
Oh no, are you gonna? No, don't do it. No, don't say it.
Before you guys
Don't
leave,
say it.
I gotta say his name.
Give me an O.
I gotta give you an O.
We were so close.
Give me a T.
I
I
gotta
know
give
where
you
you're
a
going
T.
to. I
Give me
know
an
where
E?
you're
I gotta
going.
give you an E.
Can I get an S?
S. Otis. I mean, what are your thoughts? No, really. I mean, do you think? But let me tell you. But he is the origin of the creator, right? It's the creator. His Earth Damar is the creator. Like Otis very well could still be out there. Do you think he's going to play a role in the show? This is another one I'm 50-50 on.
Again,
A
define
role.
Yes.
He's alive and he does something physically.
That Earth Damar makes this difficult decision.
Because like he
It's
could
the
do
Earth Damar
something-
that's throwing me off.
I could see him like appearing in Kuaidul's mind, and they have like this inner discussion between each other. If he's not physically there, you know what I
Will he
mean?
Yeah.
have a role? I think his Earth Damar will have a role.
So you think the creator will still be around? Remember, the creator that we saw during the duel with Yugioh and Yugioh was actually Kuaidul. We haven't even seen the creator like outside of Kuaidul's telling of him.
He will have a role. There's no other reason you bring Yugioh in to say his name. He's gonna have a role.
Otis.
Why else do you? I would be upset if you come in and now you announce him. You announce the name. Is he the creator? What was it? Kuaidul? Was it his Earth Damar? What? To not have that character come back now at this point, I'd be more upset.
Oh, I agree.
I don't mind you. I don't want this to happen.
I do.
I know you do. Thank you.
Okay.
But he
I
can
don't.
play a minor role if Kuaidul's still the big guy.
Yeah.
Here's a proposal. Yugioh and Otis team up to take down Kuaidul.
I think. Is it time to go? It's close, right? It's about that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about that time.
We're gonna move that timeline up a little bit.
So your question is Otis and Yugioh team up.
No, I'm kidding. I am being.
I wanted to make sure.
I'm kidding.
I wanted to
I'm
give you a
kidding.
second chance.
I'm
I'm like,
kidding.
Dylan,
I'll talk.
hear
about
me out.
Okay.
it. No.
Is it possible Otis and Kuaidul team up against Yugioh and Yugioh? Final duel.
Oh God, that could happen. Not actually.
What are your thoughts on that? Do you want to get me to
I
get
like
my
that
thoughts?
more than you. I like that more than your theory.
I think that would be incredible.
I agree.
I-
I think that's better than what you said. That's my point.
Oh, it's way better than what I said.
Yeah,
I
it's
actually think that that could be one of the best final boss duels in Yu-Gi-Oh.
And then when they're about
You
to
really
send,
love Otis, you son of a-
No, but like think about we could finally get his backstory.
Well-
I mean, I don't know anything, but then they reveal in the duel he's Yuga's father.
yeah. Well, as he's
This Empire Strikes Back, homie. It's Star Wars.
as he's
You're
getting
taking
sent
Star
into
Wars,
the sun,
bro.
they just go. He goes, Yugioh, I'm your dad.
You know what? If they went that direction, which they're not going to, something goofy like that they would do. This show and these writers would 100% do something like that. Something like pop culture-y like that. But anyway, we're just thinking characters that are outside of the space-time. Obviously, Yuga's the obvious one. The jury remains out and adjourned whether Otis is even alive or not, right? I mean, I believe he is. It'll be a disappointment for me if he's never in the show, just to be honest.
What, Otis?
Yeah.
I could agree with you because of how much they brought him into it. In the beginning, when he wasn't brought into it and we were just theorizing, it's okay if he doesn't come back. But when you now bring him back, then he disappears. And that Earth Damar, those are little tidbits I think will come back.
My issue with it as well would be that him and Yugioh went in the same. I know you could argue, well, with the way time travel works, one of them could have went a different route, which I
timeline,
get.
yeah.
But like his Earth Damar made it, right? So I don't know. But we'll see where they go with that. But as for the episode, I'm trying to think if there was really anything else left to touch. I loved that the fusion monster that Kuaidul used against Yugioh was Phaser, Yugioh, and Yugioh,
Yep.
the same three that defeated Kuaidul and Yugioh at the end of the last arc.
Yep.
That was a really,
was a
really
really
good touch.
tidbit there, touch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's also, there's something chilling about it, right? Where like you have all of these characters that are being forced to fight Yugioh and being forced to fight for Kuaidul. Because like it's not just their ace monsters, but their like spirit is teleported into the cards. And there is something like really, really chilling about that. And I think it adds to the the playfulness of Kuaidul's character, which is just that much more terrifying because of actually how powerful he is.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you have a more playful villain and they have a power level that's insanely high, that's a really terrifying trait, at least for me, when a villain has that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys have to leave?
It's time.
Okay. All right, that's fine.
It's my son.
It's time.
So this is, again, it's a weird episode.
I'm gonna mute this.
These two are leaving, but Nick T will be joining us in probably about 10 minutes. So, Cal, thank you, my man. Appreciate it. Everybody say goodbye to Cal and Dredge.
Bye, guys. Hey, that's a good
That was good. That was good.
How's it going?
Dredge brought the whole Yu-Gi-Oh community closer.
Honestly, I just like.
Dredge, you solved it, man.
I just.
Leave this up.
Yeah, leave it up.
I was in Discord. I was reading chat, and I was like, someone needs to be that guy right now, and I have no problem.
You stepped up, man. You stepped up.
Guys, see you later.
All right, Dredge and Cal saying their goodbye. Ladies and gentlemen, you're stuck with me for the next 10 minutes. I'm honestly very nervous. I don't usually do streams by myself. I promise you that Nick T is going to be here in probably like 5 minutes, so we're going to do something weird. For the record, I never look at chat during these podcasts because I never like to get I guess I'm a little too scatterbrained where if I had chat on, I would get like very distracted. So I never look at chat. But so we're going to do something weird. We're going to give some shout outs here on the Crazy 8's podcast. Shout out to Pick Rick, Janeth, Elaine, That Man, Colin, Angie, Zulakai, Alexandrite, Shadow Realm Z, Comodin, HJ, Crystal, Dak, Paul, Clueless Gamers. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in. Very excited for Nick T to join us. I'm going to go through some super chats and donations. As always, thank you so much for all the supers and donos. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger here. There we go. It's so weird being just me on the podcast. All right, I don't need to be crazy big. Okay. Yeah, all right, that's fine. All right. Tylor, thank you for the $10 super chat. Happy early Thanksgiving. Happy early Thanksgiving to all of those who celebrate. Yes, thank you. Here's a little extra gift from me. The Mitsuko shirt dude himself. Solid episode this week, and we need to meme the image of Yugioh looking out the window. Yeah, that definitely has some meme potential. There's a lot of shots in Go Rush and Yu-Gi-Oh in general that have meme potential. I think the biggest Yu-Gi-Oh meme is the card that Chaz played in GX with the good side and the bad side, like the fork in the road card. I think that's the biggest Yu-Gi-Oh meme ever. That made it like beyond Yu-Gi-Oh. I know Pot of Greed is a big one, but like I think that's definitely the biggest one. I don't know if any of you guys would disagree with that, but I feel like that's like the biggest Yu-Gi-Oh meme we've ever gotten. But Tylor, thank you so much, my man. Crystal Colden, thank you for the $8.88 donation. The episode was awesome. I got Tyrant, kind of predicted how it was used, and we got so many questions from this episode. And yes, I have done about 5 sketches from the episode. Long live Gigantamax Pikachudius. Yeah, love that intro by Kuaidul, right? Just imposing his will on UDS and everyone watching, right? They're all like small ants, and he's just this one, because he could have presented himself any way that he wanted to, and he chose to present himself in that like imposing 600-foot dude, basically. So I love that, and it was kind of like he went Gigantamax. Yeah, really cool stuff there, man. Colin, thank you for the $10 super chat. Appreciate you, Colin. It's not a common thing Yu-Gi-Oh does, but I really like seeing a main villain use our hero's ace monster against other characters. It's something I honestly wish we saw more. Hashtag would it clap? Hashtag let Yuga solo Kuaidul. I'll hopefully, and no, those are gonna be my responses. Colin, man, I appreciate the super chat. Yeah, it is really cool. We don't often see villains use protagonists' ace against them. I mean, a big one that I always think of is Jack using Stardust. Now, granted, Jack was not, an antagonist. I guess he was antagonistic like against Yusei early on in 5Ds. But yeah, it definitely is not something we see often, but it is really cool, and it makes the villain, I think, a little bit more, like playful and toying with his opponent. You know, it really does. And I just felt like that was Kuaidul pretty much this whole episode, to be honest. If you guys are just joining, we are waiting for Nick T to show up, but I will continue to read through these donations. Appreciate all you guys being here. Dredger and Cal, very, very big on the episode. They like the episode a lot. Max, thank you for the $2 super chat. Man, the current JJK opening, it's different after last episode. Yeah, where is it on the board?
You are my special.
Disgusting, dude.
You are my special.
I was just saying to Dredger before he went live, I can't listen to this opening.
You are my special.
I can't listen to it anymore after that last JJK episode.
You are my special.
All right, that's the last one we're getting. Max, thank you, Max. Probably one more time.
You are my special.
Crystal, thank you for the Crystal. Thank you for the $2 donation, Crystal. Appreciate you. Holds a menu. I didn't order this episode. Why are there so many unanswered questions? Like more than a 21-year-old anime. Digimon Frontier, by the way. And get me a Tyrant plush. He looks so angry, cute, and he will be mine. Yeah, I'd love to see some more plushies of Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters. Scapegoat, right? We have Scapegoat as a plush. I'm sure a Karibo one exists somewhere, but it would be cool. I feel like making plushies of Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters would actually sell really well. I think it would actually sell really, really well. Sora, thank you for the $2 donation. Such a great episode. Was glad to see Yugioh get another L. Felt like it was becoming overdue. I can agree with that. This is probably also going to be the latest any Yu-Gi-Oh! Protagonist lost irrelevant to the end of the show. Right? I mean, I'm trying to think. Yugioh lost. No, Yugioh and Roa. Never mind. I forgot about Yugioh. I forget what I said. That's not going to be true. Yugioh lost with like 7 episodes left to Roa. But yeah, really good episode. Also, fun fact about last episode. As of that episode, Rush Era now has more girl-only duels than Master Era. That's going to be a short. That's crazy. I knew it was high. I shouldn't even be that surprised. Because when I did top 10 girl versus girl duels, which is up on the channel in case you're interested, of course I did it right before Go Yuna Rovian, which would certainly be on that list. But, you know, what are you going to do? It was like 10-8. Yeah. So for those of you that may have missed it, as of this episode, or as of last episode, which was, of course, Mitsuko Basketball Hoops versus Yuumu and Epoch, Rush Era has more girl-only duels than Master Era. That is scary. That is scary, dude. That's crazy. Well, good sleuth work there, Sora. Oh, God. Jeez. Natalie, thank you so much. Natalie, the Otis apologist. Like the name, Natalie. Thank you for the $2 donation. Otis did nothing wrong. The Co-Girls threw the meteors at the kids. They were controlling the limbs of the robot. Otis wanted them to distract the kids by pointing at something irrelevant to distract them. Otis did not throw the meteor. Now, this is a rare opportunity here on Crazy 8's where I am alone. I do not have Pete here. I do not have Nick T here. I do not have Dredger here. And I do not have Calibro here. I am alone, which is dangerous because there is nobody that can stop me from talking about the end of Sevens and what Otis was trying to do. That being said, I am going to show a little bit of restraint, even though I don't want to. Natalie, great points. The Co-Girls were very clearly controlling the limbs. I did not hear Otis say. I didn't hear Otis say, throw the meteor. I didn't hear him say it. So did the Co-Girls act on their own? Did the Co-Girls act on their own when that meteor was thrown? Maybe. I got to think about that. Also, please tell me they're going to go back to the Co-Girls, man. What happened with Sirocco at the end of the episode where we were in Seven's world? Sirocco being silhouetted out, black silhouetted out completely in the Go Yuna Yugioh duel episode. Please tell me we're not forgetting about the Co-Girls here, man. I still think there's a role for them to play. I really, really do. Brian Ford, thank you for the $2 donation. Natalie, very funny donation as well. Fantastic episode. I'm so happy Kuaidul is staying a threat and hopefully continues to be a really good villain, but I'm scared since he still gives me Go Hyuga vibes. Has Kuaidul lasted longer as a threat than Go Hyuga? I gotta look that up. What episode did Go Hyuga debut? Oh, we got a call. Hey, Nick T.
Yo, Dill, I am here.
Okay, I'm gonna head up. I guess Calibro and Dredger did not leave the door unlocked like I would have hoped. That is okay. So Brian, I gotta let Nick T in because he's freezing outside, but Nick T is here. So I will say that. Let me just fit this to screen. I will say this. Don't be too worried about it, Brian, because he's already lasted longer than Go Hyuga. He's close to lasting longer than Phaser lasted as a villain. Just telling it like it is. I'll be right back with Nick T. All right. Nick T is going to be collecting himself. So very excited to bring him in. But yeah, how crazy is that, right? Phaser lasted a villain for 13 episodes. Kuaidul, if you count his debut in 75, he's been 11 episodes already. Like, he's going to exceed how long Phaser was a villain in like 3 weeks. Which is crazy. Not the best indictment on Phaser, but it's the truth, you know? All right. Nick T is coming. We're bringing him in. You can move one of these if you want. He did, yes. So if you want to hop on. Oh, you want to turn that one on?
Oh, I do. Hello,
Is it on?
everybody.
Oh, you're good. Nick T, good to see you, my man.
Great to see you.
Good. Thank you so much for coming. So Nick T had to, I believe it was kind of a last-minute thing. You had to cover for a friend at a music practice,
Well,
right?
so I was already planning on playing the gig,
Okay.
which is Saturday, and then like at work last night, he was like, "Hey, like I'm thinking like we're probably going to practice one more time as a band Tuesday night." I was like, I have to say yes. I can't be like, "Nah, I got a thing."
Yeah. No, that's fair. Well,
So-
listen. So Nick T, long day work, 6 to 8 music, and now you're here. So
Yeah, happy
we
to be here.
appreciate it. I was just saying, and I know some people are saying it's normal with Bridge Yugioh. I don't really agree with that. Yugioh lasted 52 episodes as a villain. Otis lasted the whole show. I was saying a couple people worried that Kuaidul gives them maybe Go Hyuga vibes, even though what's crazy is Kuaidul has already lasted as a villain more episodes than Go Hyuga.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And he's 3 episodes away from lasting longer than Phaser, who
Right.
only lasted 13 episodes. So I
Yeah,
did see a couple people said it's to be expected, but Yugioh
know.
lasted the whole first season.
Yugioh lasted the whole
You know?
first season, and I would say if you're comparing him with Goha Yuga, his intentions, his goal, I would say, are far more clear
Yeah.
to me than Goha Yuga was, and that's part of what I think made him not fail, but made him sort of shorter term.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas like we have a very, very clear goal here and actually if it wasn't clear until this episode made it abundantly clear.
Well, let's hop into that. I'm not going to tell you how I felt, Calibro felt, and Dredger felt.
I don't want to hear it.
But I want to know. I want to know your thoughts on 85.
I loved it.
Okay.
I loved it.
So did we. So did we.
It really kicked it off. The sort of whole waiting game kicked that off very well.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, okay, yeah, like we kept you, we string you along, making everybody return to the real world.
Yeah, right.
From space time. And then they were just hitting you with this, and like it's like like between a great duel, a weird, like, oh, now we're in his deck. Like it was weird, and then there was just like the huge revelation,
Yeah.
which was like honestly way bigger than I expected.
I mean, universal.
Yeah.
Like
it's
assimilating the universe.
Yeah, simulating
level.
the universe.
Yeah.
And not only that, like, yeah, obviously, like, now hit the breadth, the scale of his goal is way bigger than we thought.
Yep.
Not only that, but the scale of what's actually going on is way bigger. 'Cause it's like, oh, no, we weren't in a daze. We're physically separated from our bodies,
I know.
which are
I know.
there.
Yeah.
Or within him. I don't know.
Well, I think they're within the world. So I
They're
think the
within the world.
bodies are still on Earth, but this world is like a
separate.
plane,
Yeah.
a different plane of existence.
Yeah.
That's how I got it.
Yeah, it feels like a different plane of existence, which
Yeah.
was like I was I was trying to piece together as I'm watching. I'm like, what is Yuhi see in his eye? Like, I get that it's
The
Matsuba-
tower.
the,
Yeah.
the tower. It's Matsuba City. But like, what does he see? Like, what's the point
Yeah.
of that? And it's like, oh, it's because it's the scene we were left at the end of the last arc, and that's is that frozen in time?
Mm-hmm.
And we're just completely separate from it, which I thought was pretty mind-boggling.
Speaks to the power of this villain.
Yeah, which is huge. It's
Yeah,
like, and that
yeah.
like it went from like kind of smaller scale last arc, like, oh, he's strong, he can control people's minds, to something else entirely now, which was great. I really enjoyed it.
It leaves you with a feeling of hopelessness that a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh episodes don't really leave you with.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Well, I'm happy you liked it.
And I'm because we had this conversation last week about like,
Yeah.
well, if he wins, where does that leave us, right?
Yep.
Because it's like, oh, are they still in the deck? They did it in a good way. They're just back in the space time until he needs them again.
Yeah, they're stuck.
Yeah, it's like you're just there until you're gonna be my deck again.
Yeah.
and that's when you come back.
And Yuhi's final words saying that he can't, like, even if we beg, we plead, we cry, we can't get out of this.
That's it. Yeah,
Like we're done.
they leave us very hopeless, which
yeah.
is great.
Yeah. No, it's a really, really rare and I think great feeling
Yeah,
to have as a viewer because it really leads you to this question of, well, how do we get out of this?
yeah. Very, very rarely in Bridge Yu-Gi-Oh have we felt this hopeless.
I'd say even in Yu-Gi-Oh in general, because like if I think about Vrains, like when was there a situation in Vrains where Playmaker lost and was defeated? Right?
Yeah.
Right?
No, it's
It's
the
rare in
closest to
Yu-Gi-Oh.
hopelessness that we got with that was like, oh, when he was facing Kusanagi, and it's like that decision.
Yeah, or when he was facing I,
Or
and
when
you
he's
kind of
facing
realized
I.
one of them was gonna
Yeah,
die.
exactly.
Yes,
Both
yeah.
situations there, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
like this is bad. This
Yeah.
is really bad. But nothing of that scale in Vrains, of course. You're right.
Where I mean, and you don't really get it in Yu-Gi-Oh, where the universe is in danger and
yeah.
our
All
main
of existence.
character's lost, and I don't know what's gonna happen. This is a very heated debate topic, Nick T, that
Yeah.
I brought up on Sunday after I did the watch along. There's a current poll that will wrap it up. I just got to pick your brain.
Let me hear it.
There's one character that's obviously still out there. That's a very important character that is not in the space-time. It's the only character that I can even think of that's not in the space-time that's important.
That's it. Oh, Yuga.
Right.
Where is Yuga?
Where is Yuga? My fear. Now, it's a fear for me because I wouldn't love it. But I want to know your thoughts on it. Is Yuga ends up saving the day and defeats Kuaidul?
No, I can't. I can't have it. I can't have it. I love.
So Pete's the only one on our podcast that would like to see that.
I understand that perspective because it heavily, regardless of how you feel about Yuga from Sevens, right? Like he was a wonderful character,
I loved him.
but as a protagonist, did he like do? I mean, I guess at the end of the day, he did his job. He won it.
Yeah.
Whatever. But he wasn't like the best duelist, right? We've had that joke and argument a lot.
Yeah.
Thank
Shouldn't even be an argument.
It's not an argument.
I mean,
Well,
compared to the other protagonists,
Right, of course.
He's the
obviously.
worst dueling
But
protagonist.
like,
I mean, he just
it'd
is.
be nice to see some redemption for him in that way, where it's
Yeah.
like he comes in and really saves the day. Sure.
Well,
But-
and I
but
think
he had his chance.
and I think the pro with it that people would like to see it is because he did cause this whole mess.
True. It'd be
That's
cleaning
the
up
angle.
the mess. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And now, listen, I'm okay with him potentially helping defeat him.
Helping. But
If
he
it's
can't be
if
the
it's
guy.
if it's Yuga, Yuhi, and Yuamu beating Kuaidul 3-on-1 and they
Cool.
win,
Cool.
I'm totally fine with
Cool.
that.
the
My problem
Odo,
would be
yeah.
the Odo family getting it done. My problem in crunch time. My problem would be if Yuga solos
No, he can't.
Kuaidul.
He can't.
Now, when I ran this poll, Nick T, on Sunday night, we got over 200 votes, and I'm running a one similar to it now that we'll look at the results soon. 43% of people were open to it. 30% said that they would love it. 27% said that they would hate it.
Really?
Yeah. So
It's
we
pretty
are
split.
in the it's very
We're in
split,
the
but we are in the
minority,
minority.
Yeah.
Let me see what the results tonight are.
Okay.
I hope no. So I worded it a little differently.
How did you word it this time?
I worded it. Oh my God, it is so close, dude. Oh my God, I've never seen a poll this close.
Well,
Would you be a fan of Yugioh soloing Kuaidul? Yes, no, indifferent, unsure.
so it's a more specific question.
Correct. So, would you be a fan of Yugioh soloing Kuaidul? 35% said no.
Okay.
32% are indifferent or unsure. 31% said yes.
So technically, we're in the majority, but it's incredibly
I
close.
mean, it's so
You'd have
split.
To, in the
dude.
real world, you'd have to recount that. Right?
That's a recount.
That's a recount.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
you're never mind. That's crazy close. But
Yeah.
that's why, like, it is that's why I'm bringing it up again. I brought it up Sunday night. It is a very diversive topic. And I wish Pete was here because Pete does want to see it happen. He
Yeah.
said he would love it.
Here's
And so
my
I would love to just go back and forth with that. But Dredger and Cal felt similarly to me. You
Right.
feel similarly to me.
I want to like adjust my answer. Like if I'm answering the first question, I think it's like a open to it. Like if maybe he wasn't the one that wins the duel and then comes in like with some tech and like helps our team, with some kind of innovative
Yeah.
solution. Cool. If he's the one that wins the duel, that's an absolute no.
Right. Well, but like that's the thing. I'm fine with him helping.
Right. No, but I'm saying like like say Yuhi Uemu win the duel and then like Yuga swoops in with is like he's back somewhere and it's like all right, we're like he can physically get us out of here or something.
No, I'm fine with that.
Sure.
Yeah.
But he can't be the one to defeat Kuaidul. It just can't happen.
Yeah.
He can help,
Yeah.
but he can't solo.
You can also say, right, Kuaidul's got all of them like puppets on strings, and he has since the very beginning. He was the narrator.
Yeah.
Like, he basically wrote this story and this play, but the one character that he has not accounted for is a character that shouldn't even be here.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Which makes sense.
it does, and that's why, like, it is, I don't want to say it's a fear of mine, because that's a little, negative, but I guess it is a fear of mine that is the route that we might see play out here.
Right.
The only other character that I can think of as well that could get involved is Otis,
Right.
because we don't know where he's at. I don't even know if he'll be in the show, but
It's possible.
I just can't think of any other character.
I would be. I
I'd be
would
very
be
surprised. I don't want him to get involved
I
in terms of beating Kuaidul.
no. Oh no.
Yeah,
no.
no.
I would be interested to see maybe like how we have kind of a Trinity thing here.
Yeah.
A potential Trinity. Actually, it's quite literally already one. If you look at Otis, the creator,
Mm-hmm.
Kuaidul, but like throwing in the Yuga is Yuga Otis thing. Do we team up and like after Kuaidul is defeated in a duel, just try to blast everyone like for good to try to break the cycle, like to like just like stop the paradox or what
Right.
what have you in the end, like I
How
don't
does
know.
Yuga get back home?
How does Yuga get back home? Is he Otis? Is there a paradox happening here? I mean, quite literally there is, because Yuga is
Yeah.
in the past.
Yeah.
But
Is Kuaidul even the main villain of the show?
yeah,
I'm
Exactly.
more convinced yes based on this episode. I'm
Based
still
on the-
50-50
I'm
on it.
convinced yes.
I-
There's no way. It sets an impossible standard because we're at a universal level threat.
Well, but can't the creator just theoretically take over that threat?
He could, but it would have to be at the same scale. If it's not, then it's like
Yeah, and the problem with that as well is the creator doesn't like. We don't know anything about the creator.
exactly. It would take a lot more development.
Yeah,
We
and,
already have some
and
of
this
that
late
now
in
with
the
Kuaidul.
show,
Yeah, you're gonna do that in 17 episodes,
we're about
right? Is it
Where-
18?
Where
whatever?
this was episode 8 of 13 of this arc, so we only have 5 episodes left of this arc.
So
but the
18
thing is,
episodes.
Here's the thing: Kuaidul's already defeated our main protagonist. Can you see Kuaidul making it out of this arc without losing in that finale? Because I can't. And what else is the finale? What's the finale duel going to be if it's not Kuaidul versus UDS or Yuhi?
Yeah,
That so
It-
that
it
that's the issue, I think.
it
should
be.
be.
But does that mean he's like completely defeated? I mean, he's godlike.
You're right. And him losing a duel doesn't necessarily mean his plan is over.
Exactly.
As we saw in the last arc.
Yeah, as we saw in the last arc, and is what you theorized with this episode. Whether that how it played out or not, it's still the fact that, like, why not? Why does him losing a duel have to be it?
Right.
Unless they put like a stake on the line, like in previous Yu-Gi-Ohs, where it's like that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like your life's on the line. If you lose, you die.
Yeah.
But that doesn't have to be the case here. He could set them free for losing, but like that is at the end of his plan. I don't know.
Yeah. It's just crazy the quality of this arc when Kuaidul is just here, right?
It's crazy.
It's like night and day.
It is night and day.
I mean, I was saying it last week. You and another one on this podcast, so 2 of the 5, fell asleep during the episode.
Yeah, Pete and I fell asleep.
Fell asleep.
Yeah.
And this episode, I just thought was wonderful.
Oh, I was on the edge of my seat.
Right, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the duality of Go Rush. It really is.
It is.
Where they've got some low lows and they're able to crank it up. They can crank it up to a level that I don't think Seven's reached. I'll be honest.
I agree.
Yeah. Now they can also crank it down to a lull that I don't know if Seven's lulled to.
Probably not. But also, like, to be fair, that's pretty recent. I would say for the most part it was relatively very consistent.
Yeah. Well, the first 2 arcs outside of the Yugioh stuff, I'm not the biggest on.
I get that. That's
but
fair.
And then once the Lug and the Great King came in,
I mean, that's what really kicks up.
That's when it kicked in for me because then Yugioh was around and they were teasing him every episode.
Right.
But yeah,
I like the first 2 though. I really do like the first 2.
Yeah.
So.
No, there are people that do. And that's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay to have that opinion.
Yeah. I feel like you're leaning another way there.
No, it's okay to feel that way. But yeah, just crazy, man. I that is very, very, very exciting, and I'm so thrilled that we've got a lot to speculate on. Another thing that I loved, I mentioned it in my review. Yugioh, what was his thing very early on in the show? He didn't even want to tribute monsters because he felt like his monsters were like his comrades in war.
Right.
And he's got the chance to attack the fusion monster that Kuaidul's got on the field, and he uses effects and spells in order to get a direct attack instead.
Right.
Because he's like, I'll never sacrifice those ideals. And we've seen those ideals since the very beginning of the show.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a cool Yugioh moment.
It was very consistent with his ideals, which is, I think, an important thing. Because, like, yeah, Yugioh very much cares about, his ideals.
If there was one thing that I thought this episode could have done a little better, one thing, because I thought it was a great episode,
Sure.
I wish we got a little bit more dialogue, banter even, between Yugioh and Kuaidul. Yugioh questioning why it's happening.
There wasn't a whole lot between
There
the
really
two of
wasn't
them.
anything
No.
until maybe the very end when Kuaidul was like, "Oh, you've always been like that." When he increases his life points
Right.
futilely,
Right.
in futility. But yeah, I just wish we got a little bit more dialogue and banter. I feel like with Rush Duels, because they got to be one episode, and we had that big plot dump at the end of the episode. I feel like maybe you
during the
lose
duel,
some time.
You do lose some time because of the duel does not leave very much room for, except for like extraneous stuff. Like because I think the reveal was like it was still in the middle of the duel. Like
it was during his final attack. I think. Yeah.
But no, that's a good point. And which
I didn't
now that
know
you
if you
say-
felt that way or
no,
not. Or
I didn't initially, but now that you say it, I do feel that way because a big issue we'd had recently is that like Yugioh wasn't doing anything.
Mhm.
And that includes plot-wise, and it's like, well, why now? Like, yes, great, he got a duel. Yes, he lost. That doesn't matter. He dueled a very good duel, but he wasn't very, very much put forward in the plot or dialogue of the episode, which would have helped him in this time where it's like he was floundering a little bit.
yeah, no, I agree.
So, like, that maybe would have helped him.
I think it would have.
It's
I mean,
fine, though.
Yugioh. This episode was very good. Not really because of Yugioh. It was great because of Kuaidul.
Exactly.
He
Which makes me
realizing it.
sad.
Yeah, Yugioh will have his moments. I'm still convinced
He
of that.
will, but
But
we need to get
he's
back
had
to
a tough arc.
Yeah, it's
tough
been
season.
It's been a lull for him.
Yeah. Him and Yuumu. Meanwhile, Yuki is like shotting
Dude,
up.
oh
He's
my
been
God.
so fun to watch. He's
Isn't it-
great.
It's the best.
But Yuumu and Udius have kind of stagnated a little bit.
Stagnated is the best word.
Yeah. So, I just wish we got more. Like I think about Soulburner Revolver, and is it fair to compare it to I think one of the best duels ever? Maybe
No,
not.
It's
But
not.
Soulburner Revolver.
It's absolutely not. What do you?
But here we are. Soulburner Revolver. But what? Udius Kuaidul, that's got the billing to be a
It's
very
got
good
the
duel.
billing, but like
It doesn't have the whole show leading up to it. I get it.
Yeah.
But Revolver, Soulburner, they had dialogue throughout.
They did.
And that's what made that duel so special. The speeches of
And
Revolver.
That was only a
Two-parter, 2-episode duel, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm just using that as an example in terms of, like,
What you
telling
could
a
do.
story
Yeah.
through dialogue while you're dueling. I feel like sometimes Go Rush shies away from those opportunities.
They do. And like to be fair, not fair. Actually,
You want a water?
I would love a water. They could afford, and I get that it's sort of the backbone of the show in a way, or it's one of the pillars of the show in a way. Is we could cut down some of the bits, some of the comedic moments, maybe, some of the other character, dialogue in favor of dual-centric dialogue that is regarding our two characters.
You cut out Yuumu, Epoch versus Big Hoops Basketball in Mitsugo,
Exactly.
and you let this be a two-parter. Are any of us complaining about it?
No.
Are you and Pete falling asleep in episode 84?
No. Nope. Yeah, like do we need while like I get yes. The cards are the people, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much dialogue do we really need of each person talking while they're a card? Do we need Epoch saying, "I'm going to tell Udius, idiot"?
Well, we don't need Epoch doing anything.
We don't need Epoch doing anything.
I'm sorry.
No,
I
I'm
apologize to the Epoch fans out there.
It's but like
But come on.
could those couple lines have been sacrificed in favor of something more productive? Yeah.
Yeah, like I'd love like Udius asking why are you doing this and quite and it's so generic and cliche
Yeah,
to
but
do that, but like it can work.
Yeah, especially for Udius.
Yeah, right. And Udius is so like innocent and sees the best in everyone, right?
It's
And
like what's going on?
yeah, like why do you have us trapped here? There was nothing like that. The
Yeah.
duel just started. Like if I win, you'll free everyone. But then there was no like why.
There's no why.
And I just felt like I don't know. I felt like that could have been done a little better.
Yeah.
But outside of that, still such a good episode.
It was a great episode. It really was.
It really was.
It puts me very much back on high for the arc.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I was worried. I think it went on maybe 1 to 2 episodes too long for the other stuff, but
I know multiple people that told me they dropped it. This arc.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is fair. Like you could.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but you could probably read the summaries for those episodes and be like, okay, I understand where we're at, and then watch this one.
Right. No. Yeah. You're right. You're right. I thought you were gonna say, okay, I know where we're headed. I'm dipping.
Oh no. But I'm saying for people that dropped it, it's like, okay, watch episode 1 of the arc, read the next 4 summaries,
Yeah.
and watch this episode, and you basically have a very good idea of what's
And
happening.
man, it was more than that. It was 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84.
So 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that one. So,
So yeah.
me personally, I said if we're out of the Kuaidul space time, what did I say? 84, 85, I'll be okay.
All right.
And
they-
85 we
they
did.
yeah,
But that's for me personally.
right.
Most people might not have that line.
It was late
you
for
know?
me. It was definitely a little
Yeah.
late for me. I'm
Yeah.
sure it was very late for a lot of other people.
Well,
who are
Pete and
maybe
Dredger
less
were-
forgiving of the
yes,
show.
yes.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, Pete and Dredger were very. I mean, they were, and they said it last week. I'm not putting anything in their mouth. I
No,
mean,
you're
we
not saying-
talk about it as well before we go live, but they were very
They were pretty up in arms about it.
worried.
They were worried.
I'll put
Which
that.
is fair.
Very fair.
I mean, especially at this point.
it came down to this
show.
duel. I mean, I cannot stress to you how important this duel was for so many people
so many
watching.
people, yeah.
This duel had to hit at a high level. I think it hit higher
Yeah.
than what the level it needed to be at. So, hats out, hats off to them.
Yeah, the Trenzamu card, like there was a lot at play regarding plot, regarding the duel. Like, I mean, mostly those two things, but like that's most of the show.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great.
Yeah, it's really good. Gonna read some
Yeah.
some donations here, and then we'll make our picks for 86.
Mhm.
Thank you for the $2 donation, Natalie the Otis apologist.
Okay.
The Co-Girls had to choose violence instead of doing the logical. Thus, the Co-Girls did it. Otis was also antagonized by Yugioh. Otis is a victim of wrongful accusation. Hashtag good guy Otis. Hashtag the Co-Girls did it. Natalie is proposing the Co-Girls controlled the limbs on the robot that threw the meteor. So they are responsible for the meteor throwing.
So in this aspect, it's not Otis didn't even retaliate because it was the Co-Girl. So in no way is it his fault.
Well, that is what she is proposing. That's interesting, right? Now,
I don't agree.
well, Otis was antagonized by Yugioh.
No, come on.
Somebody actually did write that after my watch along on Sunday night, and I read it and I was like, I agree. I think Yugioh terrorized him.
Ironic.
I don't know, man. Someone might feel that way.
Who would feel that way? He set the whole thing up.
It may have been a typo. Maybe they meant to say Otis antagonized Yugioh.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Because Yugioh antagonized him by being born, by showing up at the thing and getting thrown the card.
Yugioh antagonized him. Natalie, you got me cracking up.
That's amazing.
Thank you for the donation. Listen, I've often said I think it's unfair to say that Otis threw the meteor at children. I think that's a gross simplification of what happened because he's trying to hit the server on the moon. And so, and I've watched that scene back, by the way. This is the meteor, and the microphone's the moon. This is the ship. This is their ship. It moves into the path of the meteor, and then it goes out of the way. So if they stop driving the ship,
Space doesn't work like that.
Well, that's how it was shown.
No, I know, but I'm saying if they stop driving the ship, it's still going to – it doesn't just stop.
Well, they can't hit the brakes? I mean, if they're still moving forward after they hit the brakes, you can e-brake, can't you? Because that'll stop you right away.
You could e-brake drift.
That's what they did.
Yeah, they e-brake drifted.
All right.
It was their good driving that got them into the situation, and it was the good driving that got them out.
You know what? Sora, thank you for the $2 donation. Personally, I think Yugioh soloing Kuaidul would suck, but Yugioh and Udius taking him down together would be fire. 10 out of 10. I can agree with that, actually.
Yeah, I can agree with that, especially because I think that would put Udius back on top.
Yeah. And have it so that, in the middle of the duel, Yugioh, loses, but Udius continues on and gets the win.
That'd be great.
Yeah, if that happens, Udius should land the finishing blow.
Yeah, Udius definitely should land the finishing blow. But I'm just saying I like the fact that it'd be with Udius. As much as we're super high on Yuhi, and we want Yumu to be, raised in our estimation.
Yep.
And it'd be cool to have the Odos do but, at the end of the day, Udius is our protagonist.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him maybe have a significant thing like that.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I mean, we've never even come close to seeing that. Two protagonists teaming up to defeat the final villain of a show.
Yeah.
In Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean that's a cool concept.
It's a very cool concept.
Right? Very cool concept. Now they did team up right against the Lug, but it
was it was a pretty big threat, but it was slightly less impactful.
Yeah, I agree with that. This would break boundaries. Brian Ford, thank you for the $2 donation. Dylan, Yugioh has to be the one to beat Kuaidul. A lot of people want it, man.
Wow.
I wasn't joking. The entire show, Yugioh has messed everything up for everyone by coming to the pass with Otis, and he needs to make things right. Kuaidul is also a consequence of Otis, and Yugioh deserves to end his war with Otis.
I can see that perspective.
I can see that perspective. I would just hate it.
I wouldn't like it.
I would not like it. I get where people that want to see it are coming from, but this is not Sevens 2.0.
But does it have to be in Go Rush?
Yeah. It's just not.
Could the war
Sevens.
end in Yu-Gi-Oh 9?
Well, man. By the way, we're less than 25 days.
God,
I know.
that's crazy.
I don't know if you guys can't see the clock. 23 days until Jump Festa. I'm of the belief that Yu-Gi-Oh 9 will be a trilogy. I really am.
I think it's more than likely.
So, could it end in Yu-Gi-Oh 9? I mean, maybe. I don't know. And I get all of the points about Yugioh and it's his fault, but I just would feel very weird about a main character from a different show saving and bailing out all of the characters from a different show and being the hero and then leaving. And in that situation, what's the big defining heroic moment for any of the characters in this show?
It'd
Or
be
were they
nothing.
all stepping stools for Yuga to actually have his big moment
Well, that's it.
that
Yeah,
he already had in Sevens
that's the question.
when he sacrificed himself to take down Otis? That's a badass move that he did.
It was great.
It's a badass move. So we're going to give him another one at the sacrifice of all of these characters in Go Rush?
It would be a bad look.
Yeah. And I get it. Like, that logic is not bad by any means. Like, I get it. I just think the schematics of it are not. I just can't get behind it.
I can't get.
I
Behind
can't
it
get
either.
behind it. Yeah. And this thread as well is like it's a Velgirian.
Yeah, a
Right?
Vulgarian should take it.
It's a Velgirian.
It's a proto-Vulgarian, but it's a Vulgarian.
The first Velgirian.
Yeah.
So like there's that tie with Udius right there, being a Velgirian.
Yeah.
And the Earth Damar with the creator. We've seen Yuhi's Earth Damar, and so you can tie in Yuhi
There's
maybe.
ties there.
I think there's
I
ways.
mean, the Odo, the Odo lineage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Starting with the creator.
Absolutely. I'm just telling you, if they did that, it would be the most divisive ending in all of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Wow.
It would be.
That's bold.
It
I
would
like
be.
that.
I'm not saying it would be the worst.
It'd be the most
It'd be
divisive.
the most divisive.
I agree.
And some people might say, what about Arc 5? What about Arc 5 is not divisive. Most people accept Arc 5 was not a good ending. That's not
Right,
divisive.
That's not divisive.
Right? If most people accept something, I'm telling
We're
you,
talking pretty split
I
down
think
the
it would be.
middle.
I mean, look at the poll. 35, 32, 31. The one I ran on Saturday, 43, 30, 27.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, that just shows us, right?
I mean, if it happened, I think you'd have half the people love it. I think you'd have half the people that would hate it.
Exactly.
And it would ruin the show.
Yeah.
Because people are very dramatic in that way.
It would ruin the show
They're very
in the
dramatic.
sense that it would be impossible to touch upon it again because it would. Yeah.
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 Ruin the show for some people. I'm not saying I would say that it,
I don't think it would ruin
me,
watching the show. I think it would ruin the culture around the show.
Yeah.
You couldn't talk about it.
No, you couldn't. You couldn't. Because imagine, I said this with Dredger and Cal. There's a lot of fans, I see them on Twitter, that love Go Rush, that hate Sevens.
Sure.
Could you imagine how they would feel if the main character from the show that they hate
it would just
ends
create
up?
a culture war.
I mean, it would be hell.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be chaos.
Yeah, it'd be bad. I mean, think about
You
the
just
time.
you can't do it.
Talk about Arc 5, and how that wasn't necessarily divisive, but in a similar way, a couple of years ago, that anytime you on Twitter would mention Arc 5, you would get attacked.
Oh yeah, yeah. There was
Attacked. There's a sect of people.
There's a
yes.
sect of
That's
people.
why it's not divisive, because it's a niche group of people.
Right.
But in that same way, it's like you can't talk about this thing without it
Yeah.
erupting into something else.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that for Go Rush.
Well, that's the thing. I just wouldn't. I think could it work? I think it could work.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like it, but I think it could probably
would be
work. But
divisive.
I think there's ways you can go about it where the execution will still be really, really good. Having him and Udius teaming up, because you still have those emotions there that Yuga feels responsible, and Udius, this is the first Velgirian. Like they can 2-on-1 it.
Yeah.
Like I think that can still make sense, and you can still get those points across. But it would make the show so divisive.
It would. Yeah.
And I don't think people realize how divisive it would be.
I very much agree.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It'll be interesting. I would hate it. I'd flame it like I flamed the Arc 5 ending. I really would. I would. I'll say it right now. People disagreed with me with the Arc 5 ending.
That's fair. Yeah.
When I said the Arc 5 ending was bad, people said, Dylan, you're crazy. The Arc 5 ending was great.
You know what,
Not many people.
I
but people
respect
did.
you being transparent about that.
I'm transparent about it. Now, yes, will my opinion change if the execution's good? Maybe, but I just
You wouldn't be
I
happy with it.
can't envision a reality in a world where I would like it.
Yeah.
I just can't. I'm just being honest.
And I'm glad you are.
I just can't.
That's why we subscribe.
That I hope so.
Yeah.
And you don't have to. I mean, no pressure. No pressure.
That's good. That is
Yeah,
that's good.
Oh man. Oh boy.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian. But that's going to be a very big.
At this point, it's
The
gonna be a
funny
hot
thing
button.
is, it won't even matter because part of me thinks Kuaidul's defeated in 5 episodes.
Wow.
Yeah, part of me does think that. I don't know where they're going to go. I mean, that's what's so exciting about the show right now. But this arc is coming to an end.
We're in uncharted waters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very exciting. Dark Emperor J, thank you for the $2 donation. Random question. If you would have a Thanksgiving dinner with 5 people in Discord, and it can be anyone you want, who would you have it with? That is
I'm confused.
Well, 5 people in the Discord.
Oh, in the Discord.
Yeah, you know what? I'm
I think you
actually
meant like any 5 people in the world via Discord.
no in the Discord.
Oh.
I'm actually not going to answer this. This reminds me of like who would you draft in volleyball, and I never want people to feel left out.
Yeah.
So I'm actually not going to answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just
You know
because
what's
I don't
great?
want anyone to feel left out. There's so many people in the Discord that I would love to meet or have met before, and I don't want to make anyone feel left out.
On the complete opposite side of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Lately, in the past year, I've spent so little time in the Discord, I can't name 5. No, I'm kidding.
Nick T not active in the Discord.
I'm
That's
kidding.
okay.
Yeah, and not even just the Discord, like Discord as an app.
Yeah.
But
Well, and
that's-
also in that Discord, I've got people that I've been friends with for 20
exactly,
years.
yeah.
So it's just
and
you
and
know.
also people that we've been friends with in the community for a very long time, like and people new friends, like that's dangerous territory.
Well, it's like a question like in elementary school. Okay, you can pick 5 kids to like go to your birthday
Yeah,
party.
it's like, yeah,
they have rules against that. You have to invite the whole class if you hand the invitations out.
Yeah.
Remember that was a rule in our school.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
If you're handing the
because they
invitations in
don't want anyone to
class,
feel left out.
Yeah.
So I guess I've always kind of remembered that, and I never want anyone to
Yeah.
feel left
Yeah,
out.
of
So,
course not.
but Dargember J, I appreciate it, my man. Thank you. Dill's favorite space meteor. Thank you for the $2 donation. You know, I was minding my business until I was picked up one day and hurled at a small spaceship containing 7 kids. Then when I looked back, I saw the same guy who picked me up hold another of my kind in their hand. What an asshole. Meteor, thank you for the $2 donation. Listen, the meteor doesn't really know what happened.
Do you know that?
I have to imagine because the meteor's just getting thrown, and it doesn't hit anything.
Do you know if it's
This would be a different conversation if the meteor hit. People act like the meteor hit the spaceship. It didn't hit the spaceship.
It didn't hit the spaceship,
Right.
but I don't think that's the point.
Well, no, but again, it's all about. Then at that point, it's intent, and I think he's throwing it at the moon.
No, I think its intent is that it's a devil may care attitude where he's like, if it hits the kids, it hits them. Maybe his target was the moon, but he's like,
That's good, man.
and
That's good.
I'm trying to think of a good parallel, but any parallel I would make would be too controversial to say on stream.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
But it'd be bad. Okay.
I can think of some too. Yeah, I can't say that. Brian, thank you for the $2 donation. While I like the connection Yugi and Kuaidul have, I hate how it's always Yugi who has a connection with the story. He's the main guy with the Earth Damar, his relationship with Yugioh, his depression arc, and now Kuaidul. Why can't Yuamu be this connected? Yeah,
That's
I
a
agree.
good take.
That's a great take. I mean, I agree. I'm not going to
I
argue
find
that.
myself, as much as I think his takes are good and like he has very good reasoning behind them, for a bit now, I find that like I am pretty opposed to a lot of like Brian's views typically, and I don't mean that in like a insulting way. I usually like have just an opposite view of him.
Yeah.
This one I'm very on board with. As much as I love Yuhi and I'm glad his arc went up. Yeah.
Brian, Nick T
Yeah,
basically saying your
no,
opinions are
No,
horrible.
I'm just saying that like we have different. There's a lot of people that have very similar views in this, but Brian's very vocal about his views that are typically not the ones I share about the show, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, the Yuamu stuff is very, very, very. Yeah, I'm very much.
But
in
I
agreeance
agree with that. Like, yeah, this one specifically, we need more Yuhi. I love Yuhi. I love how much attention he's gotten. Yuamu, she's a twin. She's there.
She had every. Yeah, she was poised after the first arc, man, to
Be so much
be
more.
the best girl in all of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
Had a couple of wins. Had the red eyes and blue eyes nods early on.
Not only that, I would argue that poised in the first arc to be the leading twin.
Yeah. Sure.
I think you could argue that.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And I'm not at all upset that Yuhi has gotten that role because I've loved Yuhi's character. I just wish that maybe Yumu got 10% of what Yuhi got.
Yeah.
I think that would have been enough to grow her a little bit.
Yeah.
But UDS has also, that's the other issue. UDS has also been, it's almost like, it's very, very similar to what Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's did, where Yuga was obviously the main character, but like Luke at times felt like the main guy.
That's our.
He did.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
that's our UDS Yuhi.
That's UDS.
Especially in the second season.
Yeah.
If you didn't know any better and you watched Go Rush from season 2 on, I think I think a good amount of people would say he is supposed to be the main character. If you didn't know anything about the characters in the story,
100%. He's the Luke.
I think most people
he's the
would.
Luke
Yeah.
analog here. Yeah.
And it's his story that like is the main focus and focal point. Ever since that Valkyrian War ended with the Yugioh stuff,
he's lost steam.
he just hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
because his initial goal was Salt.
and he accomplished what he wanted, and that's rare to accomplish that
Yeah.
the halfway through the show.
Which
yeah.
maybe you could argue that Yugioh was the protagonist of season 1, and he is the protagonist of season 2.
Yeah,
Could you argue that?
of course. I think you definitely could.
Like Yugioh's goal was realized at the end of season 1. He stopped the war. He made Valkyrians whole, right? Or am I misremembering that?
Well, he
I guess.
yeah. I mean, he just gave them a reason to
Right,
live, and
yeah, not have
he
to s-
ended the war.
he
That
ended
was
the-
the big
which was
thing.
enough, yeah.
yeah.
So like that. Like that was.
Yeah, no, he embraced it absolutely.
Then it was time to find a new goal, and now back on Earth, our twins did have one, which was stop whatever was happening,
Mhm.
like that was happening on Earth.
No, it's a shame what's happened with Yuamu. It is.
It is, yeah. I don't think they could do just a little bit more, at least. Give her another couple. I mean, we're running out of time.
Here's the issue, right? The
How
last
many more duels could we get?
I feel like maybe 2. I feel like
Maybe
the
2.
last time we had this conversation with you about Yuamu, it was right after the previous arc just ended.
Yeah.
And now we're 8 episodes into this arc. We feel the same way.
Yeah,
That kind of sucks.
they gave her like a half win, which sure you can count it, but like I think she deserves 2 more. Would 2 make her the
Most winningest girl ever.
Yeah.
I think she's there, but I don't know if we count the times where she was possessed by Dormammu or her win against Neanderstar where she was possessed by Kuaidul. We probably don't count those. So if you don't count those, I think she's either 2 beyond Roman or 1 beyond Roman. And you don't count the 2v2 because you only really count 1v1s.
Right, you only count beyond 1v1s.
So there's a lot. So she's got a lot of on-screen wins, but there's a lot of weird things that happened.
Yeah.
I think she'll get 2 wins by the end of the show.
You think so?
I'm
so.
remaining positive.
I hope so.
Optimistic. Yep. Angie, thank you for the $5 donation. Oh, is this giving you flashbacks to 5th grade when you met and co-wrote fanfics? Because this is how I imagine it. It is not.
No.
But what were you gonna say? We didn't write fanfics.
Well,
We wrote stories about Mario baseball
and tennis.
and Toad
Yes.
being caught with steroids. Correct? That was a
Toad was
storyline.
called-
Yes.
That was in the baseball
We
story.
were writing that in 5th grade.
5th grade, yeah.
That Toad, there was a
Yeah.
scandal with him and.
Yes. Technically, we met in the 4th grade, by the way, 3rd or 4th grade, but we became close friends in the 5th grade.
Yes, and we were writing.
But yeah, that was a good time.
That was a great time. So maybe
and I've said it on. I think the reason Andy brings it up is that I brought it up multiple times on my Twitch streams. I'm pretty sure I still have it somewhere.
you've got to find it.
I'm gonna bring it in.
It doesn't remind me of 5th grade. We've been friends so long. We've had so many times where
Yeah.
we've just hung out one-on-one and
Yeah.
just BS or whatever. That it's just normal. It's
Yeah.
life. It's like going to see a family member.
I think she's referring to the classroom thing though. Like the back in like inviting kids to your birthday. Unless
What's
you're
your
talking about
what's your
just us
brother's
now.
YouTube name?
Narcoleptic.
Yeah, he went Red Rock tonight for Friendsgiving. Yo,
That's so funny for so many
Nick
reasons.
T's brother is in chat.
Considering tomorrow is the night people typically
I
go
know.
out.
I had a friend. I guess is Friendsgiving usually the Wednesday before?
I don't.
It's usually just
Friendsgiving
a
was-
random day,
yeah, it's
right?
a random day. He's just saying stuff.
Red Rock.
We're going to Red Rock, dude.
Oh, Andrew, good to see
The
that.
line is probably already around the corner.
I don't even want to think about it. Otis the Pebble Tosser, thank you for the $2 donation. My theory in how the crew escapes from Kuaidul space-time is that they somehow turn themselves into cards, teleport into the cat dimension, mess around in there until they glitch themselves back in the real world. Not the craziest
Not
thought.
the craziest thought.
Yeah, really not crazy at all. I mean,
It's plausible.
it is plausible. I could definitely see them doing something maybe with that cat dimension to try to like get out. But the problem is, can't Kuaidul just put them right back in the space-time?
He's powerful enough.
Yeah, so like you got to beat him.
Yeah, you have.
We
to
got to beat him here, man.
It does. Here's my thing: is that he's powerful enough to just to like pop him right back in his space time.
Yeah.
But I would like us to kind of revisit that dimension because we still have not gotten a full answer about
No, we have not. No, we have not.
which I'm nearing the point that we're probably not going to get one.
Probably not, and that was probably purposefully left ambiguous a little bit because it's like a new dimension and it's supposed to be a little weird and you're not supposed to fully understand it.
It's like, oh, it's technology that isn't fully fleshed out. Like, I don't know.
If Yu-Gi-Oh! 9's a trilogy, could get something like that in 9.
We could.
Right, we could. So we'll see. Not Barrett Letty, thank you for the $2 donation.
wait.
I got to see if I can read this, so let me just. Yeah.
I can't read the last.
No, probably not.
I don't think we can say that. No.
By the way, this is not Barrett Letty
It's actually not.
because I
Barrett Letty.
spoke to Barrett recently, and
they're telling you the truth.
yeah, unless Barrett's just playing me for a fool, I don't know. Not Barrett Letty, thank you for the donation. Hackerman Kusanagi.
You could read part of it technically and say,
Yeah, not Barrett Letty.
It's the girl on the phone.
Yes. Yeah. Ring, ring, ring. Hello. Is this the girl on the phone? Tell Dylan I want my crack back. I'm sorry. He smoked it all coming up with good guy Otis.
That's fair. You
I mean,
could say that without the other part.
I mean, is that?
Yeah.
I mean, is that? Is that really what it is? People think that I smoked crack to come up with good guy Otis.
Yes, because you had to have.
What about
Good guy. Never mind.
Otis the father? Can we get that hashtag? Hashtag Otis the father.
Okay.
I believe he might be Yuga's dad. Now
think he might be
now,
Yuga.
now we know. Well, we know what Yuga's mom looks like.
Yes.
Can you imagine what Otis looks like with the mask off? If that is,
Like
hold
an
on.
adult Yuga.
No. If that is Yuga's dad, if Otis is Yuga's dad, we know what Yuga's mom looks like. Otis's dad is. I mean, Otis is a very attractive man under the mask.
He's got to be. If he's pulling Yuga's mom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you don't pull a woman like that if you're looking like,
A bum. Yeah.
yeah, a bum.
Yeah.
Right. Jimbo Brown or something, Like I'm talking 6'3", California surfer dude, blonde hair.
Kind of like Calibro.
Kind of like Calibro, but yeah, not. I mean, that's what he must look like without the mask off.
I have to imagine.
So hashtag Otis the father.
Okay, I'll take
And
that.
I think he probably was a pretty good father.
You do.
Think about he gets some credit for Yuga if he's Yuga's dad.
In
right?
what way?
Yuga's a great kid.
How would he get any credit for that?
Well, we don't know what Yuga's young childhood looked like. Right? I mean, he may have been
It
around.
doesn't matter if my dad disappeared and then I happen to see some guy on stage who threw me a card. Is that a nod from your dad? Where's the kid? Do you have the? You have to, where are you? What were you doing? It's that.
Who are you? What? What? Say it. Say what you want to say.
Yeah.
What do you want to
Otis.
say? Where you been?
He was an absent father if he was a father.
Oh god. Yeah, no, you're probably right. But I didn't say Otis the father.
You
I
didn't
didn't
say
say
good-
Otis the good father.
Yeah,
I didn't say
that's fair. That's fair.
I also didn't say Daddy Otis, which I could have said.
No, but I'm glad you didn't.
I'm happy I didn't either.
Yeah.
Hackerman Kusanagi, thank you for the $2 donation. Well, I hope you were having a nice day, Dylan. Well, gotta help Yusaku out with something. Glad that he is coming back. Glad that he has come back. Surprised that I is back, though. I guess this is Kusanagi in
Dueling.
Duel Links,
Yeah.
yes. So you might have actually perfectly predicted Hackerman Kusanagi what his dialogue is going to be in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Andrew is seeing a celebrity in the subway. Please let us know what's
who was it?
Yeah, who it is.
I was worried that because I didn't see the word celebrity. I was like, what? I was worried that it was related to the previous donut. I thought he said he was going to say crack pipe,
Oh my God, could you imagine?
which I wouldn't have been surprised about.
Holy shit. All right, I'm just
But
gonna read.
I love the Kusanagi thing.
I'm gonna just read the summary for 86
Who'd he say?
because we already. Oh, we might have it up.
Oh,
I
wait.
sent a candid pic to Nick. All right, so Nick, be on the lookout for it. That isn't okay.
It's just it's an ad for makeup with Sydney Sweeney on it.
That is.
So I guess he's not lying.
That's not a celebrity sighting.
He's not lying. I mean, he is, but he isn't.
All right, we've got the. I'm gonna get the poll up for you, wonderful people. Nick T, would you like to read the summary?
I would love to read the summary. Okay. From your screen?
Oh. Can you read it?
Yeah, I could try.
Okay.
We read this last week.
We
didn't
did.
Episode 86. Kotatsu. What is that?
Kotatsu
War. Angeline and Karen.
Yep.
Are now following Phaser around and calling themselves the Phaser Girls. They've been
been like this ever since the Kuaidul space-time was created. No, you're good. Having been robbed of his secretaries, Tremolo challenges Phaser to a duel with the MIK commander position at stake. Thus begins what is known as the Kotatsu War. We're back in the space.
For that? What's the reference for Kotatsu?
Isn't Kotatsu the piece of furniture that he is, or no?
Is it?
I thought it was, but it might not be.
Could someone give us some clarification on that?
I'm going to run the poll. Yeah, it's a heated table.
That's so funny. That is so funny. Because it sounds way more epic than it is. Kotatsu War.
Well, we're kind of back a little bit, Nick T, here to kind of like the silliness a little bit, which is fine. Here's the thing. Kuaidul showing up and revealing what the plan is, to me, is like a key unlocking the door, where previously the space-time was going on in a locked room, right? And all of the cool plot stuff was behind that locked door. Now we're back in that room, but the door's unlocked. So we can explore moving the plot forward, even having kind of a more goofy episode. So I'm not worried about this at all.
I'm not worried about it either.
But I mean, we do got to make our
reason to worry.
Right. But we do got to make our predictions.
Oh, okay. Are we doing it in that?
NFT's nuts.
Yeah.
I just wrote here.
Okay.
And the secretaries that Tremolo was trying to dodge now, like, being all over Phaser and Tremolo being annoyed by it, right? A little bit, right? Because that's why he's dueling him, is kind of funny as well.
Wait, so it's my understanding those girls were
Tremolos. Yep, they were obsessed
and now
with
they're
him.
obsessed with Phaser.
Yes.
That's kind of hilarious.
I remember Tremolo was trying to, like, dodge them as well.
Yeah, they were chasing him.
Yeah. But now, once you lose that, the women chasing after you.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
it's
now,
a game to him. It's about the chase.
It's about the chase, exactly. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, send.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you want to start?
Yeah. I think Phaser wins. I chose Phaser to win. I actually don't even have a clear-cut reason for this, other than the fact that Tremolo is a table.
Yes.
And is not the best. I guess, what's his track record right now?
Beat Yugioh.
Okay. Is that it?
Lost to Yugioh.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Did he? Yeah, he lost.
I don't know. I just don't get the sense that Tremolo is going to beat Phaser. Like Phaser's just a stronger force.
Yeah. I picked Phaser as well.
Do you have any reason? I don't know.
This feels a little trappy to me.
Yeah.
It feels like a trap pick.
Yeah.
Where I could actually see Tremolo winning because
to win the girls back?
Well, and the other thing, MIK Commander is at stake. I can't envision Tremolo winning that, which is why I picked Phaser. But I also could see them going that route because what does the MIK Commander position even really mean right now? It doesn't have meaning right now. So could they give that to Tremolo? Or after Tremolo gets his girls back, could he just give it back to his brother because then his brother becomes like his top advisor or something?
Sure.
And it's a big moment for Tremolo, who's inciting this duel, and Phaser doesn't really care about it. For those reasons, I can actually see Tremolo winning.
That's fair.
Because
Phaser could,
But I'm picking Phaser because he should win.
Yeah.
But I don't feel good about it at all, man.
I don't feel super confident.
This is one I feel like is kind of coin flippy.
Yeah.
Like it really flip the coin. Heads is Phaser, tails is Tremolo.
Yep. Tremolo.
Shit. Coin goes Tremolo. Not a good sign. Dredger and Cal are hitting some balls on the sand, so they are not responding, and Pete is busy. But if they,
I don't think it's beach volleyball.
no, it is. Oh, it is. Yeah, 100%.
No.
Yeah. It's sand. It's on the sand.
It's not on the sand.
Yeah, it's indoors on the sand.
No.
You think
shit.
DJ's playing on hard court?
Yeah, I think he's playing on like a gymnasium floor.
No, it's sand. I'm like 75% sure.
I feel like when Nicole posted a story of her watching them play.
Yeah, it was sand.
No.
All right, well, we got a controversy here. We will try to clear that up before the stream ends. But
hope that we can.
I think they play beach volleyball. But anyway, we'll try to clear that up. Yeah, I don't know. This one feels weird, and I am I'm not
super
sure.
confident,
But
yeah.
when I'm not sure, I just pick the better duelist.
Exactly.
Gets you over
Exactly,
more often
yeah.
than not. So, I'm interested. Where's chat leaning? I think chat's probably heavy. No, 61 phaser, 59 phaser, 36 tremolo, 5 draw, no result. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kuaidul Yugioh was about that. I think 53 picked Yugioh, 33 Kuaidul. So, and Kuaidul, of course, won.
Of course.
But yeah, crazy
Very
episode,
interesting.
guys. And
Yeah.
Blue Maiden Marinsis, thank you for the $2 donation. Hey, Dylan, I hope you're doing well. I came to donate and still waiting for Spectre to confirm on our rematch. Spectre's not confirming on that rematch because he knows he'd lose. He's scared of you and your
Yeah.
Marinsis,
Yes.
and we got robbed of it. What
It's
a
a
great
shame.
rematch that would have
It
been.
would have been very good.
That would have been. Aoi's Eisen gets that win in the final season.
It redeems her.
I think she's probably fine. I think she's fine.
Yeah, she's fine. Yeah, like I feel I feel
that's
good
what
about
she
her.
that's what she was really missing.
Yeah, it
That
was like
one like big win and big moment for her character to like step forward
Yeah.
in a deserved sort of way.
Yeah, because otherwise she was just a punching bag and then, or like easy wins.
Dueled tough opponents or beat characters that never dueled
Exactly.
besides to lose to her.
Exactly. Yeah.
That would have been so big for her, man.
Yeah, beating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead, we got a Spectre loss off screen.
Off screen. So it would have been better for Spectre to at least
would've been
duel
better
on
for
screen.
everybody, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they ran out of time.
That's
at
not.
the
Yeah.
end.
You know, I'm not
They're-
gonna.
Yeah, they ran out of time. But yeah, the rematch we didn't get. Blue Maiden, thank you. Guys, Black Friday is here, which
Yes.
means the next time we're live, there's a chance these will all be Shure microphones. The audio quality, we're making the big purchase.
Well, they
yeah,
might
the big
not be
upgrade.
here yet.
They might not be here, so it'll definitely be in the next 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Might not be next week, but we'll see. We are also getting a new camera as well.
Oh, really? For a second angle?
Yeah, second angle, and just I'm still deciding how much I want to spend on that camera. But listen, that is hats off to all of you guys because you guys have been incredibly, incredibly kind to me and generous to me this year. And whenever I get a chance to upgrade the studio so the quality is better for all of you, we're going to take that chance. So to everybody that donated, super chatted, thank you so much. To everybody that watched, lurked, hung out, thank you. I know this was a weird one because we had a kind of a rotating crew,
We sure
but
did.
we still made it work. I'm at twitch.tv/Dredgenator for Dredger, Cal Breezy for Cal, Clueless Gamers YouTube for Pete, and I'm going to let Nick T promote.
Yeah. I also, once upon a time, have streamed on Twitch at twitch.tv/NickFightsMoms. Maybe by the next time you tune in, it'll be a different username like Nameling NJ or something. But be on the lookout for that. We did a lot of variety streaming. 8's Escape, Fire Emblem, Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire, and Minecraft, which may be leaning towards a format change, maybe a new segment of Minecraft and music that maybe you guys recommend I listen to. We listen to it. We talk about it. Kind of a music discussion thing. I've been thinking about that a lot, so we'll see. But on top of that, I used to and will again perform music for you guys on Twitch, where I perform, me and my guitar from a variety of covers as well as my original music. And if you're into any of that original music, you can find it on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, YouTube, for streaming at Nameling, NAMELING, or you could purchase it on any of your purchasable music platforms like iTunes, Amazon, Bandcamp. And then for all Nameling news, go on all social media platforms at NamelingNJ.
Thank you, Nick T, for coming on, rushing
to be
over
here,
here. I
bro.
know it's a long day for you,
No,
so
it's all good, brother.
super appreciated.
Stoked to talk about the episode.
Yes, thank you so much, man. Please follow him. Follow all the crew. They're all linked down below. To everybody, shout out to Dredger and Cal as well for being here earlier. To everybody that celebrates, have a happy Thanksgiving. Hope you get to spend some time with loved ones.
Yes.
Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Talking Yu-Gi-Oh! Crazy 8's episode 85. I'm not a god. I'm just Kuaidul. Thank you so. You didn't even know that, right?
I didn't know that.
Thank you all. Stream New Year's Eve. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day. Take care, guys. Love you.
Peace. Wow.
All right, thank you, my man.